Okay.
Start streaming. I think we're live.
Really?
I don't know. I think so. I'm not sure. I don't know now if we actually are. Ooh, look at this.
All right.
Say live. We're live.
We're live.
But I think go live.
Go live.
I don't know where we see all the chats and stuff. Turn on.
We're doing two
look.
lives, guys. We're doing a live on my Instagram and a live on her YouTube.
Hey, Marissa.
So yeah, we got two lives going at one time. What's up, guys?
Hey, guys. So this is going to be so fun.
So this one's kind of lagging here a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, this one will be right here.
What's up, Richard?
Have
All right.
our thing here with
Okay.
the chat here.
Now, if we are bouncing around like this, it's because we're trying to look at all the cameras at once.
Yeah.
Well, there's only two, but... Okay, there's that one and that
Awesome.
one.
Yeah, two cameras.
Okay,
There
and
we
I
go.
can see up here pretty good. All right, right. And your mom's here?
Hey, Mama.
What's up? All right, you guys.
Hey, YouTube. Awesome.
Oh,
So,
look at this. This is so amazing.
thank you so much for joining us. We
Mhm.
just wanted to hang out with you guys, answer any of your questions,
Yes.
and chill for maybe the next half hour or however long we
Yeah.
end up talking.
We'll just let it flow, huh?
Let it flow, yeah. So
I might be peeking in a little bit because I want to be able to read these questions if anybody's asking some questions up here.
yeah. Hey, Toronto. We've got
Oh.
Edmonton here.
Oh, okay, so they're coming in right here.
India.
India.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, how awesome.
Texas, awesome.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
love you
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Love you guys. Thanks
Oh,
for joining.
Christina wants to know what we're ordering tomorrow.
Ooh,
Raw chili.
I definitely want some of that chili. Wait, are we going to the place that has the wonton things, or
No,
That's a different
I
place.
can
Okay.
take you there.
Okay, that's a special
Canoe,
place.
yeah. You want to go there?
Canoe, that's
Canoe,
right.
Yeah.
It's called Canoe. That's
yeah,
cool.
we'll have to go there. Well, that'll be like a Saturday night.
You
thing.
guys notice all the boxes back here. So Lissa is going to be moving back, or not back, but down to Oregon here pretty soon, which is going to be so super cool.
Yeah, so
We got Ohio, we got San Diego, what's up? Ottawa. Oh, man.
Florida.
Oh, hey, we love the shirts. Yeah, the shirts are so cool. Right on, you guys. So
Nice.
I guess, yeah, if any questions you guys have, you can just throw in some questions. But
Love you guys.
what we were just kind of studying up on is a little bit of thyroid issues. You know, I've got a friend that I was just hanging out with this last weekend who has some thyroid issues, and kind of like, you know, raised my eyebrow thinking, man, you know, like, what could I do to help this homie out, you know? But of course, the entire trip, you know, they're eating lots of animal products, drinking lots of beer, lots of whiskey, not drinking any water. So, of course, definitely hurting themselves in all kinds of ways.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But we were watching some videos, doing a little bit more research, and you know, when it boils down to it, it's really all of these different diseases that we have are just a manifestation of the main thing,
Yeah.
which is improperly feeding
Yeah,
ourselves,
improperly imbalances.
improper sleep, stress, all of that.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
fascinating how it's all the same disease. It doesn't matter if you have eczema or psoriasis on your skin, or you've got, you know, some thyroid issues, or you've got, you know, bowel issues. It's all the same kind of thing happening, which is, yeah, not treating yourself with love and respect. Not eating compassionately, right?
Yes.
Compassionate eating. We're thinking of maybe we'll start talking about compassionate eating a little bit more, as opposed to, you know, veganism or raw veganism.
Yeah. What I wanted to talk about the compassionate eating thing is that you've got like a healthy diet, plant-based, right?
Mhm.
And then you've got veganism.
Yeah.
And on the vegan side, you've got the junk food vegans,
Right.
and you've got the whole food plant-based vegans.
Yeah.
And there's such a different range in all of it. And I want to encompass raw and vegan and whole food, like all of it, all together into one word and call it compassionate eating.
Yeah.
Because then not only you're being ethical, compassionate to the animals, you're being ethical and compassionate to the environment,
Yeah.
and you're being ethical and compassionate to yourself. So,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
So now we've got a couple questions here.
Yeah.
One says, I have eczema, will a raw help? And then someone up here says they cured their psoriasis with a raw food diet. I have had Crohn's symptoms maybe for 13 years. So a couple, we might be able to scroll down. They're scrolling so fast. That's
Right?
gonna be hard
If we
to...
don't get to your question,
Yeah.
guys, it's like there's so many going on, but...
I would like to think that going back to nature's way and eating just real plant foods, ex-nay on all the funky stuff being dead animals, the secretions from them, those kind of things.
And processed junk. I mean, it's junk.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
Yeah.
I've got friends that are junk food vegans, and definitely I have other friends who eat, more of like a keto style diet, and I would like to, it almost seems like they're a more healthy than the junk food vegans.
Yeah. And it's very interesting, and that's why we want to be compassionate eaters, because we want to encompass everything all together. And like you said, it's the diet.
Yeah.
Eczema, thyroid problems, cancer,
it's all the
heart
same disease.
It's all the same disease.
We are a whole, we're one whole body, and our bodies manifest these different issues in different ways because every body is a little different. But it's so insane how it's all the same thing, but we label it differently, so that way the pharmaceutical companies can go, okay, cool, let's, fine-tune something that'll target that particular spot in their body. Yeah. So the wedding, you guys, I'm sorry, we have to, vegan doesn't necessarily mean healthy. Very true, very true.
It's very true.
I'm addicted to vegan junk food, someone says. Man, it's so addictive. Food is so addictive. You guys, we have the dopamine release. It's a full-on drug. Full-on drug. Both Lissa and I are recovering food addicts, and that was kind of one of the things.
Hi, I'm Lissa, and I'm a food addict.
And I'm Nate, and I'm a recovering food addict. Yeah, and it is just phenomenal how the mindset shift, understanding that if you want to live a vibrant, healthy life and be feeling good in your own body, if you treat yourself with the utmost respect. I mean, we were given this body for free, and a lot of the times we were given stuff for free, we don't necessarily put value on it.
Good point.
But this is the best gift that we could have been given, the mind and this body.
Yeah.
So, quick question somebody asked was when the wedding is.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to do a quick wedding. When she gets down there for the visa, you guys, we're going to do a quick wedding. It's not going to be anything big, just at the coast, maybe at the Redwoods or something. That way we can just file the paperwork and it's all set, But we're going to do a big wedding next year. That way, we want to have a bunch of people there. Like, if you guys want to come, it would be so fun. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
if there was like 500 people, that would be so fun because it's all going to be catered. It's going to be in the Valley of Fire, which is an hour out of Vegas. And it's Vegas, you guys. I mean, it's cheap to go to Vegas. And, there's some vegan foods down there. Yeah. And we do raw in Vegas.
So cool. Marissa, my sweet friend Marissa, she wants to tell her how good the spaghetti was.
Oh my gosh, it's processed vegan food. What was that one?
It's good.
It's good, yeah. Oh yeah, processed vegan food sometimes. I'm addicted to coconuts. Yeah. I might miss some of your guys' questions, you guys. We're having like a couple. We have two screens going off at one. Have a fruit flower bouquet. Yes, we will. We are going to actually have a really cool bouquet.
Yeah, I want to have a purple flowering kale. That's my dream.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys, we'll definitely pump that up and we'll make it to where, it'd be nice if people could save up. We know when the day is. We're thinking probably like April, May, because the flowers are blooming in Vegas. It's like springtime down there. Should be pretty nice weather. It shouldn't be too scorching hot. But, we'll definitely have a year to plan for that big wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got lots of questions. So let's try and go through fast.
Okay, let's go.
I'm doing a Biggest Loser contest. Best advice for constant weight loss.
Ooh.
Just eat enough.
Just stop
low
eating.
Fat.
Stop eating altogether. No, just kidding. Definitely.
Eat enough. Cut your fat down to 10%.
Fat. Yeah. Chronometer. Put your chronometer in so you guys are definitely getting, adequate nutrition for sure.
Yeah, exercise.
Lysamps, what's up, Lysamps?
Woo, Lysamps!
Oh, man.
Okay, best way to start a raw diet.
Okay, the best way to start a raw diet, in my mind, is just do it. Nike has the best slogan, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, eat enough, definitely give yourself, I think giving yourself 3 months. 3 months, that way you can create a full, different kind of lifestyle. Like, after a month, you've got the grocery stores down, and
and you learn. You can follow our channels and a lot of other raw vegans to see like how much we eat and what we eat. I've got my 2 meal plans. Actually, I should go grab my new one.
Get it. The new meal plan, you guys, is so cool. And that's what I did. I just bought Lissa's book, The 30-Day Meal Plan. This was before I met her because the pictures were delicious. There's an entire shopping list on there, and it was so easy to follow. And I just followed suit. I just followed her book for like 8 months. I still use it. I literally still crack it open every single week.
I love that.
Glad you do. What's this one?
Okay, so this is my new book, guys. The printed version is actually on sale, 35% off on Amazon. So you can search for this title and grab that off Amazon right now. I don't know how long that sale is going to go on, but you can also go to payhip.com/rawfoodromance to get any of the ebooks. Yeah. And those are all on there. And if you want 20% off, use code LOVERAW, all capitals.
And right now, they're running a deal on Amazon.
35% off!
35% off this new one, you guys. That's a screaming deal.
Yeah, so you've got like...
So now someone said that they have a problem with the prep time. Now the prep time is kind of a situation. So it's all about thinking ahead. No matter what you're eating, if you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you're gonna have to prep up a little bit. You got to get a knife and you got to get your butter out, and your bread out and stuff. So there's a little bit of prep in anything. What I do personally, sometimes I can feel you on the prep time. I don't necessarily want to do a lot of prep, so I make banana ice cream. It's just so easy. I'm getting some good calories. It makes me feel good. I get that, instant sugar rush.
Right. What's your opinion on medical medium and the whole celery juice trend? Hey, celery juice in the morning, it's raw food, go for it.
Celery juice is a great way to start the day. Oh my gosh.
And if you resonate with him, cool. I don't really follow what he does, but he's helped a lot of people, so...
I think anybody who is, a proponent to get more fresh fruits and vegetables into your diet, man, it doesn't matter. Everybody connects with everybody a little differently. I connected with Lissa. I liked her YouTube videos. I watched a lot of YouTubers, and something about her, she resonated with me. So you find somebody who resonates with you, and if medical medium is the one that's resonating with you, then man,
yeah, go for it. Listen to what he says.
Yeah, he's got some. He's got good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nooch is not raw. It's a tough one.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not raw. It's not, and we still use it, but...
So that's another thing maybe we should talk about is we are not 100% fully raw, because we eat cashews.
Cashews, nutritional yeast, maple syrup,
coconut aminos, apple cider vinegar.
Well, apple cider vinegar is technically raw, but it's frowned upon by the natural hygiene group.
It's so interesting.
Yeah,
some seasonings, they're
smoked paprika.
Right, and some say that that's rancidified because it's already it's in a container. Yeah. So but if nooch is going to be the thing that keeps you on that raw side,
go
half
for
the
it.
nooch.
Yeah,
man.
Lately we've been feeling a little gassy, bloated, kind of, by doing the nooch, so we keep it...
Nooch, to me, it doesn't necessarily make me feel bloated. It definitely makes me gassy.
Gassy.
Every time, and I'm talking the stinkiest. I love nooch, but if there's somebody that's coming over that I don't necessarily maybe I'll eat a lot of nooch. I don't know. But definitely, nooch, definitely, some stinky stuff's going on.
Let's see here. I would definitely... I literally would recommend Lissa's 52 to a New You. 52 to a New You. Yes, that book I wrote was the first book that I wrote, and I wrote it when I was probably about 4 or 5 months raw, and I wanted to help people to transition over to this diet, so I did 52 steps, and they're supposed to take a whole year. It was 52,
That's
right?
pretty
But
cool.
you could do it overnight, like I did it. But it's 52 steps. First one, getting rid of flesh. The second one, getting rid of eggs. Then
take
dairy.
out a little something each time.
Yeah, and it's $5. I might be increasing that cost when I revamp it. I'm going to be adding a ton of more information into that book. So
get unfortified nooch, dude.
Unfortified nooch.
That's a raw gastod. Raw.
Interesting. And Jevita yeast, maybe?
Vegastod. Raw Vegastod. Maybe we have to check that out. Because the only kind that I get is I get it in the bulk section. So, what's your thoughts on intuitive eating? Oh my gosh, that is the best.
A good one.
That's the best way is to intuitive eat.
Yeah.
Because people were saying back at Woodstock Fruit Festival, I thought it was pretty good. We put this label on lunchtime, dinner time. Oh, it's breakfast time. We got to eat breakfast. So. maybe that's not necessarily the best way to eat, because if you're not necessarily that hungry, then why should you be eating something just because it's that particular time?
Yeah, but in keeping in mind, we still need to get
Adequate calories.
that amount of calories. So if you don't feel like eating at lunch, maybe you feel like eating at 3 instead of noon or whatever. But just make sure that you eat constantly throughout the day. It's more like grazing, keeping your gas tank full, making sure you don't go hungry.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of people, when they're intuitively eating, like, you really have to get in tune with your body to be able to intuitively eat. Because if you're not in tune with your body, you go like 6 or 8 hours without eating and be like, I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
But when you get in tune with yourself and you really, really know, you're like, I need to top up my gas tank. Right? Mm-hmm. Get a couple bananas.
Unless you're mindfully like taking, the morning off, intermittent, you're like, I'm not really that hungry, and you're not really, exercising or doing very, very much work or something. I kind of like the idea that less is more. Your body is able to not have to process so much. And of course, eating mono meals, I like mono meals. I feel best. I definitely feel, me personally, I feel really, really good when I eat just an entire melon by itself, or if I'm eating just a bunch of nectarines by themselves. Body's able to process it so much easier. But intuitive eating, it's a good way to go, rather than just being like, all right, it's lunchtime, we gotta smash it in.
Yeah, just make sure you're eating enough.
If you're getting enough calories, though, yeah.
If cashews aren't raw, then will soaking them even matter? No, because it won't make them unraw, because they've already been roasted and dead. But it helps to digest.
Because it still releases that enzyme inhibitor.
Yeah.
So someone says up here, what's your opinion on eating too much dehydrated food? Now,
ooh, not my
we have definitely played around with these concepts of like, okay, let's go on a dehydrated kick, and we're eating dehydrated foods. I don't know. We only like maybe a couple days in a row.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Oh my gosh, we're looking at each other like, do you feel that brick in your stomach?
It's like a rock.
Yeah.
And just not cool.
I actually, like, even if I eat just a bunch of dehydrated fruit, like I have the dehydrated mangoes, and I ate a bunch of those on my snowboarding trip that I just took this last weekend, and it was actually on the drive up to the mountain, and bowel transit time was very, very slow because, of course, I'm thinking, it absorbed so much of the water out of me because they're dehydrated. But I personally don't like a lot of dehydrated food. Neither does Lissa.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, the hydrated food, being raw, vegetables. We do like to have her ramen, which is super, super good. And we had some mushroom marinara last night, which was also some dehydrated action in there. But yeah, not daily. Definitely not daily.
Yeah.
Me personally, it doesn't feel good in my belly.
Yeah. So we've got I struggle. Trey. Hey, Trey!
Hey, what's up, Trey?
Struggle later in the evening. Any advice?
Banana and ice cream. Banana and ice cream. Get it in, man. I know the evenings are tricky. Kale chips are cool, like if you do like dehydrated foods, like a kale chip is kind of a, a good salty, crunchy snack, but evenings for me, an ice cream.
Ice cream. I did, my last video was day in the life, and I was eating my salad in the car.
Yeah. And
it was probably about 4:30-ish, 5 o'clock, around there, and I was thinking, this is about the same time people normally get off work.
Yeah.
Now, if you eat your lunch at noon, for example, at work, and you don't get off until 5, and it takes you half an hour to drive home, and then, by the time you get home and you get settled and everything, it's like 6 or 7, and
you're famished.
You've gone 7 hours without eating, and you're starving.
Then you're wrecked.
Yeah. So my trick that I tell a lot of my coaching clients is take some food with you and keep it in the car, like cherry tomatoes or cucumbers or bananas or something, and eat that on the way home.
Yeah.
Because then it fills up that gas tank so that you're not starving.
Like the cucumber's a great one too, especially with like some chili powder, and I have a few seasonings in the center console of my truck because I like to do that too. I'll have even like peach with some chili powder. I don't know, for me it's just really, really good. Somebody says here, any thoughts about, this is April Marie, on eating certain foods together, combining bad digestion when you eat them together?
I find personally for me, dehydrated foods and anything.
Yeah.
Especially higher fat dressings or dips, like dehydrated crackers with a high fat dip, no good. And mixing fats with fruit, no good either. Because the thing is that fats digest so much slower than fruit.
Yeah.
Fruit digests like that. And then fats take forever, so it can cause like a conflict in your intestinal tract.
I noticed a really bad bellyache when I ate mangoes, strawberries, both diced up with watermelon. And of course, you guys all know, like, to eat your melons by themselves, but wow, I will never do that again. And not only melon belly, but like I felt totally sick to my stomach, almost wanting to go self-induce.
Yeah.
But of course, the fats and the sugars, not a good combo.
No go.
But I mean, it's tricky because everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to respond a little bit differently.
And I personally say, like, I only follow 2 rules. I follow my melons alone, for the most part. I can do berries or citrus with melon, but that's it. Anything else, like mangoes, pineapples, and stuff, I always feel
I think it was the mangoes and because the strawberries and watermelon I've had before.
Yeah.
But I think it must have been the mangoes.
I
have been scared to even try it again.
And any like high fiber fruit, like bananas or apples and watermelon, no good. So I do the melons alone and fat with my greens because we need fat to absorb like vitamin K, vitamin A, or fat solubles. Yeah, so I keep my fats with my greens and my fruit by itself.
Yeah. And
everything's good. I can put berries and dates seem to be okay, but I like to say if it's a rule for you, it's a rule for you. So play around with it and see what happens. And if, tomatoes don't mix with kale, then don't do them. And you'll just have to, like, it's trial and error. And that's where the intuitive eating comes into play. It's not like, I know some people will say, especially women who are on their periods and they're like, I am craving chocolate. I just want chocolate.
Somebody says right here, I have chocolate cravings.
There you go, yeah. And this interesting thing about that is that for like years working in the natural health industry, I like constantly was told that if women are craving chocolate on their cycle, it's because they're lacking magnesium. But the interesting thing about that is that greens have way more magnesium than chocolate. So, like, why aren't we craving greens?
Isn't that interesting?
And that's why intuitive eating doesn't always work, because we're, like, craving these dopamine releases, and we're like, oh, well, my body wants this. But it's not actually what your body's looking for. It's looking for magnesium, but it's going to want those foods that are going to create that dopamine release.
Yeah.
So, we really have to, you have to really, really, really get in tune with your body.
Yeah.
So,
So what are your current fallback 5?
Ooh. Right now, it's... in my book, I have my ramen. The ramen I am addicted to. It's so good.
Yeah. Mushroom marinara,
what we had last night.
Taco, very, very on the fattening side. The taco salads with the sour cream, the nacho cheese sauce, guacamole.
Yep.
That's a fallback for me.
French dressing, 100% always a fallback. The French
dressing, the Greek dressing.
Greek dressing.
Yeah.
What else?
Those dressings
Spicy
are really
ginger
good.
Almond. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, the ginger almond, the pad thai. I probably have a pad thai dressing at least once a week. So that's definitely a fallback for me.
Another one it's coming up as a fallback for me is the tzatziki sauce.
Man, that tzatziki is so good.
So good. And that one you can find in my Dips and Dressings book. And it's also in here as the falafel salad.
Yeah. Nitsan, what's up, brother?
Nitsan! Hey!
Oh, man. So Trey says, I knew you'd say that about that ice cream. Heck yeah, bro. You know me, man. You know me.
What do you think of intermittent fasting? I'm on the fence with it.
You have kind of mixed feelings with it.
Yeah.
I personally, like, just out of, like, normal daily routine, I kind of intermittent fast on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like, I am not an intermittent dry faster. Like, I'll have my, lemon or lime water in the morning. And then sometimes, like, I'm doing my salad deliveries and it's 10 o'clock. I'm like, wow, I still haven't eaten anything. But I'm, like, not hungry because I'm just in a hurry to go get their lunch. And then after lunch, I'm hungry. It's noon, 1 o'clock. Yeah. I'm hungry. So I eat my salad right then. So I kind of intermittent fast pretty much every day. Like, there's really maybe like one day out of the week that I'm eating or drinking a smoothie in the morning. Like a date smoothie, a banana date smoothie, or like I like to call it the Shrek smoothie, which is blueberries, spinach, and bananas, dates, hemp seed, chia seed. It's really, really fast to make, but I don't have that every single morning. I don't know, like I feel like maybe I would be doing a little bit better if I did eat or drink my smoothie.
I find that I have more energy, But I also don't eat at 7 a.m. I wake up and drink my water, I putz around,
Yeah.
I reply to stuff on YouTube. I don't really eat until like 8 or 9. So in a way, I'm intermittent fasting as well.
Yeah, especially when you're getting up early.
But really, an intermittent fast is the time that you're sleeping and you're not
Yeah.
eating in that
Yeah.
whole time. So it
Yeah,
just
if you don't
depends on
eat
how
until-
far you want to go.
If you don't eat until 9 or 10,
Yeah.
that's intermittent fast. And if you feel good, then
Yeah, but
go with it.
the key is to make sure you get all of your calories is
Yeah.
so important. And the thing with wild animals only fast for 2 reasons. One, they are sick
Very sick.
and very sick, or there's no food around.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, they don't have clocks and they're not like, oh, it's 4 o'clock, gotta stop eating,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, they don't try to fit everything in. They just graze throughout the
Yeah.
day, and if there's no food, they don't eat. And
It's
so
tricky
it's
because
more,
in our
yeah.
culture and where we are nowadays, there's so much food around us everywhere we go. You go to work and somebody brings in some donuts, or it's somebody's birthday, and or they're getting some special coffees. You want a coffee? And yeah,
Just
probably-
the plants, man.
Yeah, what's up, Nicole?
She lost 100 pounds.
100
on
pounds.
Raw. Follow
Amazing.
her, Just the Plants Ma'am.
Just the
on
Plants
YouTube.
Ma'am
She's-
is a rock star.
Yeah,
She
she's
is
doing this called Tour de Vegan, where
Yeah.
she's doing a different vegan diet.
Pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Pretty cool.
She's pretty awesome.
She is awesome, and I can't wait to see you, Nicole. I love you so much.
Jonathan is asking.
Sorry, guys, if we
Oh
can't
my
get to all your
gosh.
questions here. Someone says, "What are your thoughts on a raw juice cleanse?"
Oh, I
Feels good.
don't juice
I
cleanse.
haven't done a
I
juice
think
cleanse.
the thing with me is that I
In a long
believe
time.
so much in whole foods that I don't think I would ever be likely to do a juice fast or anything like that.
Juice fast.
I like to combine juice into my daily routine. I will have it sometimes for breakfast and in snacks in between meals. But aside from that,
Yeah.
it's just not something I'm compelled to do because I feel so much. I just love
But
the way
if
I'm
you
eating.
feel
But
like
yeah.
you need to do a juice cleanse, or you're just like something's calling, like, man, I kind of want to follow Sam's and do the apple cleanse, like, man, that's so awesome. I love that. Go with it, because it's not going to hurt you. You
Yeah.
know, it's less work on your body because you're taking out all of the digesting properties of having to break that food down. You're drinking juice. It's already like it's getting
Yeah.
into those cells so fast. I definitely like juice.
I love juice.
And I think, if anybody is like feeling like, a juice cleanse, man, you drink a juice for 3 days, ain't gonna do nothing but
No,
good
it's
stuff
just-
for you.
Yeah, and the thing is too, one thing that I worry about, the general public who is coming from like a standard North American diet or a really crappy diet or whatever, they want to do a juice cleanse to like kind of start fresh, and that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they don't have a solid foundation to fall back on when they're done the juice cleanse. And I call that the
Right.
juice cleanse mentality.
Oh, that's so true.
So if you don't have a good, solid, healthy, whole food, high raw,
So
low
true.
fat, plant-based diet to fall back onto,
Yeah.
you're going to fall back onto that old school
Yeah,
diet.
you're like,
and,
oh, cool, I'm gonna get
yeah.
some chips. I did a 3-day juice cleanse.
So,
Not doing yourself
yeah,
any favors
if,
there.
if people do want to do a juice fast of some sort, I would recommend doing 3 months of a really good raw or high raw vegan
raw.
diet,
High raw.
and then venture into the juice fasting, because
Yeah.
then you have something to fall back on.
Such a
and,
good point.
Yeah.
Such a good point. Hey,
So-
Marissa Graham says, your hair looks good. I love her hair. It looks so good. You guys are such balanced eaters. I love it so much. It's so good for the movement of raw food. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you for both. I love it. We love you guys.
Thank you, Marissa.
Man,
You're such a sweet
it's
friend.
really amazing because I feel kind of like torn inside when I see, like we're on social media, so we're hearing, the different people that are ex-vegans, and I can't help but to kind of like just fall into the entertainment of watching some of these videos of people who are ex-vegan, and I think it is really tricky because it's just the balance isn't there. The balance isn't there. It's going from one extreme to the next as far as like, oh, I'm gonna eat, high raw, and they're high raw for the weekend, and they like, they're going out with their friends and they get a vegan pizza. Now it's vegan, right? Or then they're like having vegan donuts. Then they're drinking coffee. And they're like, oh, I need to get back on raw. And then, it's creating imbalances within themselves. And I see these people. I'm not like any kind of like hardcore pioneer pro or anything. I'm very new to this. It's only been a couple of years raw for me. Plant-based for 5 years, 6 years now. And I definitely see how, certain people, if they if they have imbalances already and stuff that's going on already within themselves, and they're going from one extreme to the next extreme, you know, the body's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
And yeah, you're having some issues, definitely.
Totally. All right, so we've got, can you touch a bit on combining various fruits and veggies? I'm not sure do you mean like food combining for proper digestion or food combining for like taste? I like to keep all my greens with my fats in my evening meal to help with digestion, and then any like the non-sweet fruits like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, zucchini, all of that, I try to keep all together because they're fruit really, and so they all digest in a similar manner with a low fat, like maybe just seed, chia or flax in your dressing, just so it's really light. But then the greens, like the heavier greens, you want to do with your higher fat, so your cashew dip or almonds or something. That's what I would do. Yeah.
So someone asked up here, how do you fix bloating on a raw diet? And this is a great one, you guys. Now that I'm out like delivering salads every day, and I have some people getting these salads on a daily basis, they're asking the same kind of question. And this is very important. I feel like we're talking about the soldiers within our gut, right? So we have these soldiers that we've been feeding that help break down this dead matter. This dead matter being cooked food. Anything cooked, anything fired, it's dead. And you need to have a certain army in there to be able to break those foods down, to break all that stuff down. So if you have not very many of the other soldiers that can break down the raw foods, then you're going to have some bloating issues, you're going to have some gassy issues, and that's going to take time. That might even take longer than a month, 3 months. It might take longer than 6 months, I feel like, because sometimes I even still get kind of bloated or gassy. And that might be from food combining, but it's also been, 38 years, of just eating standard American funk.
Yeah, so our gut bacteria is like one of the main concerns, especially with the ex-vegans.
Yeah.
Their guts are so imbalanced, and when you cook food, sure, certain things are a little bit more bioavailable, but you lose a lot in the cooking process, and you're actually damaging the fiber.
Yes.
Which is the food for your good bacteria.
Yes.
So when you first start eating really high fiber food, especially like beans and sprouts, it can be a little bit hard for you to digest because you have like this itty bitty tiny little colony of fiber thriving bacteria, and you've got this massive colony of dead matter bacteria.
Right.
So when you stop eating the dead matter and you start eating more fiber,
especially if you're going overnight, high raw, you're going to be gassy, you're going to be bloated, and it's going to be a part of the situation.
Yeah, but with time, every single day, you're feeding those fiber-thriving guys.
Yes.
So gradually they start to grow,
And it starts to grow.
And eventually you feel really good. Like the only times that I get really gassy or whatever is if I'm stressed out, right? The mind-gut connection. You're not. There's not a lot of blood flow.
Not a lot of movement.
Yeah, a lot of movement, and that's the other time. If we sit, like when we were at Felicia's house.
Yeah, or an airplane.
4 hours.
Yeah,
at the table.
and we're eating like cashew cheese. Like raw food diet necessarily isn't like the heal all end all be all. If you're eating like a lot of like we're gonna have some treats tonight. We got some Snickers. Like it's a raw cashew. Cheesecake kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now I know it's gonna be stinky in there tonight, definitely.
Oh man, but I haven't had one of these cheesecakes in a year, so yeah.
Greens always fix my cravings. Just discovering this. Heck yeah, Sherry. Hey.
Do you rotate your greens? Yeah, that's a good question. My main source is romaine. I eat romaine every single day, 1 to 2 heads. And I rotate the other stuff. So like sometimes I'll grab a box of spinach and I'll do spinach for a day or two, and then I'll have kale for a couple days, and then collard wraps, I'll do those, and then
rotate them.
What else is there? Like arugula tomato salads I really love.
Ooh, those are good.
Right? Yeah.
The collard wraps are
dandelion
so good.
in the springtime, I'll add a lot of dandelion to my salad. So I do rotate my greens, but I keep one green as my main green, which is romaine, because romaine is
the king of all.
And another one that's really good is bok choy. So if you guys are like concerned about calcium, bok choy is one of the highest sources of calcium. So add that to your salads.
It's so watery. It's so good. So someone says here, how do you feel about fermented food like kimchi?
Ooh, I like kimchi.
Is it considered raw? And if so, have you made a recipe? We don't have a recipe for one.
Not yet. We should do one.
But it is basically raw.
Yeah, and it depends on how it's made because some people cook the cabbage
Right.
before they ferment it.
Right.
But true raw is not cooked cabbage, and you can get that. You just have to look on the label.
Make
It'll
sure
say
you,
raw.
yeah, make sure it says on the
Yeah.
on the label.
One company,
It's so good.
Wild Brine, they're based
Yeah.
in California. They make raw kimchi.
And then there's
raw
also a
sauerkrauts.
local girl who sells jars we found at Food for Less.
Yes,
and it was
in
like
Medford,
an
Oregon.
old, handed down, like we almost ate the whole jar that night. It was ridiculous. And it was a quart-sized jar. So
I had
good.
gas after that because
Yeah.
if you're not used to doing sauerkraut or anything like that, start small
Yeah.
to feed that bacteria, and then every day you can increase it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But if you just like down like half a jar,
Right, and
yeah.
you don't eat it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Red Lizard really enjoyed my day in a life vlog.
That was
Thank
so
you so
cool.
much. I am getting so many positive comments on that. It's the last video that I've posted on my YouTube, and I want to do more because I really enjoyed that. You guys.
Somebody says here,
Loved
Sherry
it.
Hodge says she's tried the spicy chili lime mango.
Ooh,
It was-
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so she was short on the mango. She added fresh pineapple, you
Ooh,
guys.
sounds
That
delicious.
does sound good.
Aw.
Nicole doesn't eat anything first thing in the morning either.
Yeah, I know. I like to do the lemon water and just like
Yeah,
chill
just the
around
water.
for a
What's
little
your
bit.
thoughts on water? What is the best water to drink? So now check this out, you guys. I am totally sold on distilled water. We
too.
distill our own water, and it is so delicious. Now some people are like, "Oh, you're missing the trace minerals in the water." I don't know. There's different concepts on it, but what's nice is your kidneys aren't having to work on distilling the water because your kidneys are basically distillers. So when you drink distilled water, it's less work on your kidneys, and it's delicious. Now, it is void of
Yeah.
minerals, so if you're worried about no
But
minerals, you can add some lemon.
We eat so good that we get tons of
the
minerals.
minerals, yeah.
Like if you're doing distilled water on a standard North American diet, yeah, you're probably going to be lacking minerals. But because we get so many from our fresh fruits and vegetables,
It's tricky too because some say like those minerals can kind of like gather, and they can't necessarily be,
yeah,
your kidney.
the soil's depleted.
Yeah, the soil's depleted, maybe some kidney stone issues or something.
This product here, it's Ocean Minerals, vegan. This I use when I do hot yoga because it's got minerals like electrolytes to replace those that I
Right.
lose when I'm doing
You
hot
don't,
yoga.
you don't
all the
drink
time.
Gatorade?
No.
Gatorade? Just get a case of Gatorade. I mean, come on, everybody knows Gatorade
Everyone's
replaces the
doing
electrolytes.
it.
Just kidding, you guys. Don't drink Gatorade. That coupon code for the ebook is all caps. Love Raw. Or,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
caps.
for the ebooks. Love Raw, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
20% off. Payhip.com/rawfoodromance, or you can go to my website,
Check this out.
rawfoodromance.com.
Carol S. says, interesting observing a new generation getting turned on to raw foods. I started over 25 years ago.
Yeah!
Yes, Carol.
Awesome.
We love it, man. I know, like, see, when I see these people who have, like, I can't do this, it's going to kill me. I think of Carol, the people like Carol who have been 25 plus years. The guy that really like inspired me was 42 years raw vegan, reversed his colorectal cancer at 44. This guy was 86 years old, you guys, shredding down the mountain. I could not keep up with this guy on my snowboard. He was a skier. The skiers go faster than snowboarders. But he was amazing, and that's really what made me go home and buy Lissa's book that night. My mom already reversed her kidney cancer, and I was like, I need to buy...
You bought this
I
one.
need to get a book. I need to figure out how to eat. Teach me how to eat, somebody. And she taught me how to eat, so...
And it's awesome.
Thank you. I
You're
love
welcome.
That. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you did because I would be a wreck. I would be a wreck. I was definitely heading down the wrong road. I was just eating all the stuff that was really good and delicious. and
Right? It's hard.
there's a lot of delicious, funky stuff out there. It's
is,
hard.
I know,
And that's
oh
why
my
we're
God.
recovering food addicts, you guys. Like, abstinence is
Yes.
the best.
That's my favorite quote. Complete abstinence is easier than perfect moderation. Because
Perfect.
what's perfect moderation? What's moderate for me might not be moderate
Yeah.
for you, might be not be
Right.
moderate for you guys. So
perfect moderation
just
to
easy to
somebody
say
who be
no.
like, I'll have one cooked sweet potato at Thanksgiving. Somebody
Yeah.
else might be like, well, perfect moderation to me is one cooked sweet potato on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And then, somebody else be like, well, for moderation for me is one cooked sweet potato on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So,
and
yeah.
a vegan donut. No.
Vegan donut. Hey, but I mean, it's all cool because everybody's living their own journey. Everybody's,
Yeah.
everybody's here to experience something a little different, I feel like. Any thoughts on combining sub-acid and sweet fruits? Okay.
I find no problem with
Yeah,
it.
you know, like I said, the only
really
time I really
is-
had issue was that watermelon and mango that one
Yeah.
time.
It really is up to you. If you find
Every
you have a
body is
problem with
different.
it, then it's a rule for you. So
Every
yeah,
body is different, yet so much the same.
I know.
And I love that we were listening to this thing, like, it is all one disease. There's only one disease. There's only one basic disease,
and
which
it's
is
dis-ease.
it's just a dis-ease. Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
imbalance. And if we can go back to compassionate eating,
Compassionate eating.
like,
Love it.
and having compassion for yourself, because if we don't have our health in our own body, and that's why some of these
Yeah.
people go back to eating, you know, meat and eggs, is because their health is slipping. They're not balanced out. You know, if you're eating vegan donuts every day, and fake eggs and fake milk, you know, fake, but you know,
Yeah, just
imposter,
Imposter. Yeah.
transitional foods.
Yeah.
I like to call them transitional foods because if you're trying to get off the real stuff and you're like, okay, I should start eating, I don't want to eat any animals, the transitional foods are amazing. My kids are both vegan, cooked vegan, they eat high raw, I bought them the Beyond Meat burger, and I was like, give me a bite of that. I want to taste what this is all about. What's the hype? And I felt like I was doing something wrong. Like, this tastes so much like ground beef. It's ridiculous. And I was like, why does anybody want to eat, like, why do they want to pretend they're eating some ground up cow? But hey, that's awesome because it's
it
a
helps
transitional
people get
food.
people off, but we have to also think about making sure that we're healthy too.
Yeah. So if you're
And,
eating
yeah.
a Beyond Meat burger every day with a chow cheese now, right? I mean, delicious in a sense. If you, that's you know.
Well, what do you think of breatharian? That's the next question.
Okay, breatharian. You know, I love that concept.
The concept is cool, but
and that is like now Dr. Sam was talking about, and it really hit me hard this year. Is like people freak out about water and they freak out about food, and like we're obsessed with these two things. But if we don't breathe, we die. Boom! Like within 3 minutes,
3 minutes, yeah.
you're dead. So the breath work is so important. Now, people who don't eat anything and they just breathe, I want to meet them. I want to watch a video or something.
Yeah.
I heard a story of like a nun or somebody who 25 years never ate. She just lived by a creek, so she was getting her nutrients from breathing. I totally get it. Like we have everything that we need is in the air.
But in a way, it's also imbalanced. Like if you're not breathing properly, but you're eating properly, or if you're stressed out, or not sleeping, or not exercising, or whatever. Like I like what Rosalind Graham said. She did a talk at the UK Fruit Fest. And by the way, guys, you should come to the Canada Fruit Fest and the UK Fruit Fest in Woodstock.
My
code is RAWFOODROMANCE if you want to get a discount. But anyways,
any fruit fest, go to one.
Yeah,
for sure. It's so much fun. You don't have to like be a raw or a vegan or anything.
just go to hang out
just
with
have
us.
fun.
Yeah. And so Rosalind Graham had a talk where she was talking about the spokes of a wheel. And each spoke is something different, like diet, sleep, stress, breath, blah, blah, blah. And they're all the spokes.
Analogy.
But if you have one spoke that's shorter, like the wheel's not going to flow properly,
Very
right?
true.
And if one spoke is longer, then everything else is going to be out of
All
balance
right.
as well. So we have to have everything in balance. And I think extremes are just not healthy, and that's why I've never done a fully raw or fully fruitarian, like 100% fruit deal or
nothing against it.
Nothing against
Everybody
it. Everybody
does their own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just for you, it's an imbalance in your mindset. Some people have been fruitarian for 30 years,
Ann
and
Osborne,
man, that is
she's,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
but
amazing.
She's also getting ripe, perfect fruit. I
Exactly.
think it's possible if you live in the tropics,
Yes.
but living where I am,
And if you're,
no-go.
you'd have to move there to be able to stay in that prime, condition. So now here somebody says, what do you use to keep your greens in to last longer?
oh,
Well,
I could go grab my bags.
Yeah, so definitely
Right.
keeping them clean is key. And then I use the Debbie Meyer green bags. You know, the Debbie Meyer green bags definitely keep them longer than your standard bag that you get at the store. But you know what? Like, the greens don't last in our household to go bad. We buy the greens and we eat them that day. Debbie Meyer green bags, you guys, these are pretty awesome, and they definitely work. I don't know what kind of technology is in here, like how it works, but
Something about the nitrogen, maybe. I'm not sure. But I have some kale that we want to do a kale chip video, and I bought them like 2 days ago, and they're still perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, so
cilantro lasts like a week longer in those bags than if you were having a regular bag.
Totally.
And I like to clean it, and I'll put a paper towel in there to kind of moisten it up, or I mean to absorb some of the moisture. I don't
celery juice. I don't
drink celery juice every morning, but my brother was on a kick for a minute drinking celery juice every single morning, and I had a couple for sure.
Yeah, I don't have a juicer, so
my routine of celery. I have a juicer, and I'm not juicing every single day. I think honestly, a great balance would be to, heck yeah, start your morning off with celery juice.
Go for it. Totally, it's a raw.
Some lime,
juice.
some ginger
awesome.
in there every single morning.
Yeah.
Why not? What could it hurt, right?
Totally. I would love to if I had a juicer.
Yeah.
2 bags of apples today. I'm with Samps on the apples. Yeah.
Yeah. I love Brandon Light Samps. You guys, if you guys don't know who Light Samps is, check him out. Light Samps Living. He is high energy, super great individual, all kinds of awesome information, and he's definitely he's a real homie. He's a triber. Oh, you guys, this is great. I drink celery juice every day. See, exactly. Celery. Some people are just really, they're hooked on it, and it's good. Plant-based all the way. I'm fully raw. 7 years cancer-free.
Nice.
Now. Oh, that's so awesome. I love hearing that.
I'm so glad that we can inspire you guys so much. Thoughts on
Best water to drink?
Again, we
don't drink tap water. You guys get distilled water. Throw a little lemon juice in it, some lime juice. You could put like a tiny pinch of Himalayan pink salt in there if you want a little pink salt. You could also go to the supermarket and you can bring your 5-gallon jugs and go to the osmosis machine. It's like 7 filters. Those machines won't run. They'll actually shut down if the filters are not changed when they're supposed to be, which is, I don't know, it's a certain amount of gallons that have to go through, but the machine actually will stop working if the filter isn't changed, after so many gallons go through. So that's really good water to drink too. It's pretty much distilled water.
And yes, you guys, the water you heard was my tower garden. I didn't turn off the water.
Oh yeah.
It's on for the light because
man.
Otherwise it's pitch black here.
Best spiralizer. Yeah. So the best spiralizer.
Ooh, it depends. I like the regular Paderno one, the classic one you can get for cucumber.
She's posh. I don't even.
But the angel hair zucchini,
which is the Joyce Chen.
Yeah.
So good. But for zucchini.
Yeah.
For the cucumber, just
the bigger one.
Even the hand ones are cool. But you have that Vegetti, and I haven't even seen that thing work in person. Do you find being raw, you need to sleep less because of increased natural energy? Yeah, I would definitely like to get my full 8 hours of sleep. We don't get 8 hours of sleep.
Oh my gosh. We went to bed at like 3.
Yeah, but yesterday was kind of a weird day. I mean, I didn't even get in until 11 o'clock. And then we just see each other. We haven't seen each other for a week, so we're partying hardcore. And that partying hardcore, you guys, was making ice cream at 2 in the morning. That's our party. That's our hardcore party. We're like, we're hardcore.
Yeah,
ice cream. This is the tamper for, this motion is the tamper for the Vitamix, you guys.
Tammy is starting a catering company, so would love to talk more about these salads you're delivering.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so what I do is I stole Lissa's recipes out of her book. And that's what makes the salads awesome. Because a salad is basically a salad. You got bell peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, sprouts, zucchini noodles, carrots, beets, whatever you want to put in it. It's the sauce, the dressing is what makes it so epic. So I would just say buy her book and give her props, pump her up while you're using her recipes, because why not? Get more of that into people's systems. I mean, and people freak out. I have people that buy salads consistently, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, people obviously like these because they are buying them again. This is so cool.
And yeah, the whole thing is, like, we've had a lot of people tell us, like, oh, if you added cooked food or added chicken or whatever, you'd sell so much more. But that is not the basis of what we're trying to do. Our mission is not to make a lot of money. Our mission is to provide fresh, raw salads to the people who want them.
Yeah.
And whether we
just
grow it huge
food.
Or it just stays what it is all.
My whole thing was basically just like, I'm seeing the doctors that I was working for, eat just total crap, and I feel bad for them. They're so extremely busy, and they don't have time with their patients. It's all about money. They don't have but 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes per patient. And so my whole thing was like, I want to make you a salad because I love you, and I just want to make sure. And I have plenty of stuff. I'll make you a salad. And then they started to buy them. And then I'm thinking, man, I want to fill this need. There's a need out there. People need more fresh food. They want the convenience. And so if it is prepared, we package all the dressings in a separate container, so you're not pouring the dressing on the salad for the people. It stays fresh for days. Like, I've had people who didn't eat it for 4 days, and they're like, it's perfect. So they last for 4 days. On the 5th day, you're going to get the lettuce is going to turn color.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, what's our favorite green? And mine is basically
I had
romaine.
to choose romaine.
Romaine is my favorite.
Yeah, I've tried other ones. Like, you really like green leaf.
I love green leaf.
Butter leaf too.
But if you don't eat the green leaf, like in 2 days, it's funk. Red leaf, if you don't eat it on the way home, no.
I know.
Like, red leaf
it gets
goes
like really weird on the top.
brown and slimy.
Yeah.
And it's so delicious if you eat it that night.
Yeah, or freshly picked out of your
But
garden.
romaine is so hearty, and it's so packed with all kinds of good nutrients. It's just it's one that I love for sure.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Aloe
Bok choy.
juice was
Bok
another-
choy is a great one too.
Aloe juice. What do we think of aloe juice? If you want to do aloe juice, that's cool. It's really
CCU
healing
night
for the
nurses
gut.
love the Bella Fresca. I love you, Aaron. I love you.
Aaron! Awesome.
So glad
Good
you
to
guys
see
get
you.
something. I know the nurses work so hard. Just people in general, we're slammed. And if you could have something served to you that's delicious and it's going to give you some energy because your body's not having to expend all this extra or enzymatic energy or whatever to break it down, I think that's a win. That's definitely a win.
This is a good question. Do either of you get colds or get sick?
Yeah, I haven't been sick in a very long time, but I tell you what, you guys, this last week I was going through some stressful situations, some family issues, and I did feel a little like, scratchy in my throat, and I did the ginger honey shot, the ginger lemon shot, not honey, you guys, I don't do honey, but that did help, but I was like, man, am I getting sick, and I definitely feel like it's not like you're immune to everything.
Yeah.
You can totally get sick.
Yeah.
Raw
vegans are not immortal. We are not
or immune
immortal
to everything. Yeah. But I have not. I've been raw for over 2 years, and I have not gotten any kind of flu or cold like that this entire time.
Yeah,
now when I was
neither have I.
vegan, I don't think that I had. No, I think the last time that I had the flu, like really bad, like horrible, and it made me go vegan for like a couple months, was in 2012, January 2012. That was the last time that I was sick.
And then you went vegan.
Then I went vegan for like 2 months. It's like, it's easier to change your religion than it is to change your diet.
Yeah. Before I went raw, I was sick with a cold or a flu once every 2 months.
Yeah.
Give or take. And I had bladder infections every 2 or 3 months. Like,
Horrible.
there was some that were so bad that I had to get antibiotics for them. They were so incredibly painful. But I used to get sick all the time, and the sickness would last like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Right? Like, forever. I have not been sick since I've been raw vegan, except I did do a dry fast for 3 days.
That rocked you.
And that was horrible. I don't want to ever do that again.
Yeah.
But I just felt like really run down, and I don't want to do it anymore. So that was the only experience that I had from it.
Yeah.
And
you were also traveling.
Yeah, and I'd just gotten back from visiting you.
Yeah, so
and then I did
your body is going through different stresses,
Yeah,
and you're
so-
trying to get, there's a lot of factors that go into what, helps us get sick. But it's really interesting because I've got family members that literally, like, they'll get sick, I kid you not, 7 times a year, if not eight times a year.
That's how I used to be, too.
Which is basically like once a month, once every 6 weeks, they're sick. And they're so scared of getting sick, but they treat themselves like total crap. They don't love themselves, you guys. They're, if they really truly love themselves, they would really just strive to get in control of your life and of their life. And I think that's another thing is really interesting is changing your dietary habits is definitely taking control of your life. Whatever it is. If you're doing keto, that right there is showing that you have the power and the ability to take control of what you're actually going to be putting into your mouth.
I think we got some questions on yours.
So your mom said that she's going to be another customer, La Bella Fresca
cool.
customer. I'm excited. What is the lemon ginger shot you speak of? So it is You know, I'll take a chunk of ginger, like the size of my thumb, juice it, and then just squeeze lemon juice into that, and then just shoot it down. Lemon ginger shot.
Good stuff.
I wish that they would serve them at the bars, because I like to go to the bars with friends because I like the camaraderie. I want to hang out with my people, and even though they're being a bunch of goofballs and treating themselves like total dirt, you know, I still want to be around them. I love them, and I really wish that they would like serve lemon ginger shots.
Yeah,
now you can
cool.
get lemons and just squeeze it into a shot glass and take a shot.
And you're
of
gonna
lemon.
be like, you're gonna have that face with them
You're
too.
like,
You're like,
"Oh!"
woo!
You can still cheers everybody and just have
Yeah.
the lemon shot. So now somebody says up here, darn it, I'm gonna have to like scroll back down. What do we do for exercise? We're slacking.
Not as much as we should.
We're so lacking there, you guys. We are so slacking there. We're really wanting to get on a nice regimen.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll rebound and I walk. We hike, snowboard, you know, but nothing like consistent like we know we should, you guys. And that's
I will do Bikram consistently if I'm not like super busy. I did like about 2 weeks straight with Nicole. And I really, really love yoga. That's something that I want to do. We want to both take our YTT so we could do yoga retreats and stuff like
definitely.
that. It's all like future plans and everything. But right now for exercise, it's, have you ever had, no, I haven't had a bladder infection since I went raw.
Yeah, boom.
And I used to get them every 2 months, and it was horrible. But I contribute that also to
thanks, Terry and
getting rid of my candida as well. But
she's a psychiatric mental health nurse, and she loves our attitudes and energy and happiness. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love all you guys. We love all you guys. It's, you know, I'm sorry if we're missing some of the questions. They're kind of scrolling in here.
Somebody actually wanted to talk about aloe juice.
Okay.
They mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah.
Aloe juice is really healing for the body.
Yes.
Really, really good for mucous membranes and digestion.
Yes.
Aloe juice. Aloe gel is another option too. But if you're going to do it yourself, don't use the like the skin.
You
skin. Just peel it and have like the jelly on the inside.
Yeah.
You can add it to smoothies, you can juice it, whatever you want to do. But
So awesome.
it's health, like it's a health item.
And Lissa D says having sparkling water with a sliced lemon at the bar. Boom.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I love sparkling water. I didn't say that. It's exactly. Sparkling water is such a good idea if you're going out to the bar.
For sure.
Do you guys sprout beans? Yes,
Yes.
we'll eat some sprouted beans. Her chili is unreal. So unreal. So now this April Marie says she cured UTI, you guys, with apple cider vinegar mixed with 8 ounces of water each morning and night. Now, how much apple cider vinegar? Probably only like maybe a teaspoon?
Maybe a teaspoon, maybe a tablespoon. Max.
And I kind of like, you know, on this trip, I was like, you know, I should be doing the apple cider vinegar thing in the morning. Just like, you know, maybe a half teaspoon or something in a glass. I think that would probably be good.
Yeah, I know, like some with the apple cider vinegar, there's a little controversy, especially with the medical medium, because he says that it pickles the liver.
I know.
And I personally don't agree with that, but I mean, it's up to you if you want to use it or not.
Yeah, there's what's so crazy is there's so much information out there that you could really just drag yourself batty trying to figure out what's the right way, but it's a personal journey just like anything that you're doing, like exercise-wise or something. If it's working for you and you like it and you believe it, then man, roll with it. If you don't want to have any apple cider vinegar because you believe it's going to pickle your liver, then don't have any. Because your mind is going to be... Our minds are so incredibly powerful. If you're constantly down on yourself from this, you know, oh my gosh, I'm drinking the apple cider vinegar thing, you might be doing some harm to yourself with just your thought process.
Yeah, and actually, I have a friend named Happy Raw Rennie on Instagram, and she did a whole Instagram series of 7 parts reasons why people might go back to eating animal products. And one of the reasons she was talking about was placebo effect, and people feel like there's a reason. Thank you, my love. There's a reason why they use the placebo in medical trials because it actually is a scientific thing.
It is.
The placebo is so powerful. Our minds are so incredibly powerful. So if you believe for some reason that you might need beet,
you might be making it happen.
You might be making it happen.
That's pretty remarkable. Just another reason or another thing, a factor into people who have cured themselves of different kinds of ailments, cancers and such. I think that, you know, they truly believe that they are being healed and they might be envisioning different colors. All of this stuff is so amazing, and I believe it 100%.
Yeah, and they're just spokes to the wheel.
Totally.
envisioning, diet, exercise, sleep, and they're all very important. And we're not perfect. We've got stuff to work on.
Man,
and
totally. We have a lot to work on for sure. So now here, Tammy Hughes says she's 53 and hot flashes. Does raw food keep the hot flashes away? I wouldn't know anything about that. and I hope I don't know. I can only imagine that would be just wretched.
Horrible.
Oh.
You know, honestly, I think when it like we said at the beginning of the video, when it boils down to everything, it's dis-ease.
Yeah.
In the body. Your body, the symptoms that you're having is a sign that there's something not going into the body that's proper. So, yeah, I think a raw diet can help.
Yeah. And another thing too, 53 herbs, spices.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that could help, but 53, and you picture how long of your life have you been mistreating yourself?
Yeah.
You know, because it's really like we're not living in a world where we're, you know, everybody's eating like delicious food. And like, could you picture if it was completely 180 degrees different and junk food and like, you know, burgers and steaks and cheesy freaking Philly cheesesteaks or whatever was the weird thing, kind of like, you know, raw. Then we probably wouldn't necessarily have these issues.
Yeah.
You guys, I have 20 seconds left on Instagram Live. I love you guys. And
we'll keep going on the YouTube,
keep going on YouTube.
Instagram.
I'll try to save it.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for following us. But if you guys want to watch more, head over to YouTube. We are still live on YouTube. So
yes. So now here, I'm gonna pause real quick.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I messed it up last time.
Okay, here. We'll do this.
Trying to figure out.
Save?
She knows what's up. I don't really know.
Save.
Video saved. Okay, and then I can share.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna share. I press the button. Hopefully it worked. We'll see.
Awesome. So now it's just the YouTube fam. This one is very interesting. Vera says that bladder infections are caused by the E. coli bug, usually from eating chicken, which is very interesting why I haven't had any bladder infections because of not consuming any animals. Cut the chicken! It's not health food.
Yes, no. That's a very interesting.
Yeah, I really like that. Thank you for sharing that.
So I break out all around my cheeks and temples. It feels almost worse since raw. Detox?
Okay.
Maybe too much fat for sure.
Yeah.
I had hard for me to calculate how much is 10%. Now check it out. Oh my gosh. Listen, I mean, we don't live together, so we're like, you know, when we get together, we like to party, and partying is like, let's have a Lara bar, let's have some almond butter in our ice cream.
I'll show you.
Let's have some, let's have like some cashew cheese. Let's have some cashew cheesecake. This is a special thing. Oh, let's have some raw lasagna. Well, we started to calculate in Chronometer actually how much we were actually eating throughout the day, and oh my gosh, you guys, it was over 30% fat. Over 30%. So.
And we weren't even eating a lot.
We weren't not eating a lot. I was thinking, oh, well, you know, I wonder where this is. Maybe high teens, 20s. It was like 35% or more in fat. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Look at what we have. Now, you guys.
We're partying, you guys.
These are. You can have these on an 80-10-10 lifestyle.
Totally.
But you have to keep it to like a shot glass or like one bite. And that's it.
That's
like
it.
You really can't have a lot. But there's like.
Danger.
Raw cashew pie. And I made this cheese wheel.
Oh my gosh.
It's fermented cashew cheese with jalapeno, sun-dried tomato.
It's so hard not to eat. Like the two of us, we've done it before. We've eaten the whole thing in a day.
I know. And it's, and that's why I had gained 12 pounds when we did the road trip. Because we were just like totally gorging on it.
8 pounds or
and
more.
I lost it when I got back to Canada. It took about 3 weeks to lose it.
Yeah.
I lost it fairly quickly, but it's so easy to eat too high fat.
It is so easy. And our bodies are craving that fat too. Like that's kind of the thing is like
when you eat more fat, you crave more fat because you're getting that dopamine release. So it's like a drug, and you're like, I want more of this drug, right?
So that's where that discipline comes in, and it is so tricky because our world is not set up to stay on that thrival side of things.
How do you eat out at restaurants? Salads are so pathetic. Oh, yes, this is a great question.
They're so pathetic.
So a tip that I learned from my friend Christina, from Christina Glows, she's she takes pictures of her salads and shows the waitress.
She's a pro.
The picture of the salad on her phone. She's like,
look, can you make me one like this?
This size?
Yeah.
And they're more likely to bring it, or she just orders
Now,
two.
what if you're in another country and you don't speak the language?
Yeah, that's what happened to us in Mexico.
So we just had them keep bringing us more and more. And we're like, cool, we just ate that. And they'd bring us another one. They're like, you want 3? Like, yeah, can you, we just want 3 cucumbers. And we want 4 whole tomatoes.
Yeah.
We don't speak the language. We're trying to do the translate. Pretty soon the actual head chef comes out, meets us, speaks some English, and we're able to tell them, look, we only eat vegetables. You know, can you just bring us like a ridiculous amount of vegetables?
And they did. Towards the end of the trip, they thought we were awesome.
So now check this out. Another thing we did was when we were in New York, we went to a really nice vegan restaurant, and it was so cool to be inside of a restaurant because the two of us, we don't go to restaurants because it is pathetic out there. So what we did was we had, it was avocado and nutritional yeast.
We brought the nutritional yeast. We had a little bit of
We had our own nutritional yeast.
Yeah. I know. We knew it was happening.
So, and we also did, what else did we mix?
It was just avocado. No, it was just avocado.
It was avocado newt.
Lemon juice and newt.
Yep. So what I like to do, you guys, is anywhere like a lot of times, you know, well, we do like a lot of, you know, Mexican. There's this place called Mucho
download
Gusto.
iTranslate.
Ooh.
Jonathan says download iTranslate.
Okay, I have Google Translate, and we did try that, and it still wasn't coming out like exactly the same, but it did help us.
Yeah.
Google Translate did help. But you know, lemon and avocado. Lemon and avocado for me, you know, if I can bring it. I mean, I brought it with me coming up here on the plane.
Lissa.
Boom. Lemon and avocado is so good.
Send the cheese wheel to me. I'll save both of you.
Yeah, we need some help with that one. And not really. We're gonna be good. That's hopefully gonna last us the entire week.
Yeah, I really wanted to make it for photos.
Yeah.
So I want to take some pictures because this kind of stuff is really good at converting other people who aren't vegan.
So true.
It's really good transition
So true.
stuff to take to parties where
or like
people are having
I'll
a
do
little bit.
the nut meats, like the taco meat, or like a falafel, and they're like, "Man, this tastes really good, mate." You know, and they're not used. They don't know what they're like raw food. What do you eat? It's so funny how disconnected we are with our food, and that was another reason that drew me to Lissa. It was a raw food romance. And before I went vegan, even I was doing the keto thing, and I didn't realize it was called keto. I was trying to be like bodybuilder, you know, and I was eating a lot of meat and a lot of vegetables. But I did feel a more connection with my food because I'm cutting up my bell peppers and I'm sautéing them, and then I'm cracking eggs, you know, and I had more of a connection with preparing food rather than just buying something that's already prepared. So I definitely think that is so huge.
Raw Eveline, can you post your question again? I don't think I saw it.
Oh.
So please post it again. And another one here was a good one. What are your thoughts on organic produce?
So we really try to do the Clean 15 Dirty Dozen as best as we can. And okay, here's the question right there. You could read.
Okay.
But you can't, it's so tricky to have everything be organic, you guys. Like it really is. We're not like, you know, floating in boatloads of cash to where, you know, we're going to spend, you know, all this extra money on the organic produce that is not necessary. If it's, you know, if it's a part of the Dirty Dozen, then yes, you know, the berries, certain things like that, we'll try to stick with those being organic.
Yeah.
But already the way that I feel is, okay, you're not taking in, like if you're eating animal products, you're getting all those hormones and the antibiotics and all these different things. And so yes, you know, you might be getting some herbicides and some pesticides, which aren't good either. And we can really, like, I call it mental masturbation. We can really mess with ourselves if that's going to stop us. You know, I feel like even if you're eating completely conventional, you're already doing like 95% better than if you weren't to be. You're like, you know what? If I can't get it to be organic, give me Doritos. Now,
yeah, I know. Why would you step so far back, right?
Yeah.
I personally don't eat as much organic as I should because it's so expensive. A pineapple here, an organic pineapple is $8.99.
Yeah.
So expensive. And those little tiny containers of cherry tomatoes is $6.99 when I can get a big 2-pound one for $5 at Superstore.
Right.
So I
It's
eat
tricky.
so much.
Wash it.
Yeah.
Wash it. Do
Yeah.
a hydrogen peroxide bath.
Yeah, you can get fruit and veggie sprays.
Yeah.
I have links on my
Just
channels.
wash it. Just
for the
we
veggie
just do
wash.
the best we can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and really the best thing, oh man, it's so important if we could just start growing more gardens.
Yes.
Community gardens.
So
If we
important.
could get those going on, or if we're in an area where we can have a little garden in our backyard kind of thing, or you know, collaborate with other people who are in your area that can grow things, because you know then
Yeah.
you're getting like stuff that's. I definitely believe that's the best that you can have, because those vegetables and fruits are breathing the same air that you're breathing, and it's that whole symbiotic, you know, kind of connection that's happening.
Beautiful. So Raw Eveline says, see, always, she wants to know the difference if she needs to drink the celery juice first in the morning or the lemon water. Honestly, I think it doesn't necessarily matter. I would do the lemon water first if I
6
had
of one,
to
a half a
choice.
dozen of the other.
Yeah.
I would just do the lemon water in the celery juice. Just put lemon in your
Yeah,
celery
the
juice.
thing is that the lemon water is just that hydrating. You're going to
Yeah.
get the hydration from the celery, so you can do either way, whatever you feel is best. But if
Yeah.
I was to do it, I would just do the lemon water first, and then I would do my celery shot.
Yeah.
And he would do it combined.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it really matters.
I think either one, getting them in.
Yeah,
is
just getting them in is
so
what's
good.
important.
Yeah, so we don't go out anymore. I know it's tricky to go out because it just makes it kind of a pain, you know, and that is a bummer. It's such a bummer because I love going out. I love going out with people and seeing different restaurants and just the whole energy that's in there. And it's such a shame because now I can't necessarily enjoy myself. Now I've got a different pair of glasses on, and I'm like looking at my friends and my people around me that I love going, oh my gosh, look at what they're eating.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a food snob, so I'm not going to be all up in their business, but I just don't enjoy it myself. It's like, what am I going to eat? And then I feel like I'm being judged. We all just want to chew together. We all just literally want to sit down and be able to eat something together. And that's what it's all about. So, you know,
Yeah.
we try to just bring anything that we can, like hide it if you can. You know, like I'm gonna bring in my own avocado. If I have an avocado and a lemon, you can most likely get a salad anywhere, even if it is pathetic. Even if all of your, like me being a dude, you know, I got my other dude friends that are like, you know, they're meat eating, beer drinking, whiskey drinking dudes that are hunters, and I'm eating a salad with some avocado and lemon. I don't go out anymore either. I just
Right. We're just, you know, the whole point of going out is to be with the people.
Just to
It
be
doesn't
with your
shouldn't
people.
matter what you're
Yeah.
eating. Because I've noticed this really interesting. You've got somebody, if you go out, there's like 8 of you, and someone's ordering sushi, and someone's ordering pizza, and someone's ordering mac and cheese,
Right.
and someone's got a burger, and someone's got a stir fry, and then you have a salad. It's like, why are you suddenly picked out? Well, like, why
Right.
don't you pick on the person who's
Yeah.
ordering sushi?
And then,
It's
of course, you
different,
get
but-
tired. I just want to have a sign that I hold up, you know, like, where do you get your protein? Be like, where do you think I get my protein? Where do you get your fiber? You know, like, you
Yeah.
get tired answering these questions. This is an important question by Mandy Hockenberry. Didn't think I'd continue to be constipated on low-fat raw. Just a couple of weeks in. Any knowledge on this?
Okay.
So I would think that last, you know, second to last sentence, just a couple weeks in might be a situation. But depends on what your raw is, because man, there's all different kinds of raw.
Yeah.
You know, you could be eating too, and if you're eating very, you know, dehydrated foods, like non-hydrated foods, you're not eating, you know, high fruit. Man, yeah, your body's like, you know, very possibly you're having a harder time.
Yeah.
You know,
Another thing that you could probably do, maybe do some enemas.
very true. You know,
Yeah.
we wash this part of the tube out. We have 40 feet of tubing, you guys. We have 40 feet from hole to hole. And we wash this side, but we don't wash the other side.
Yeah.
And I think that is it's not necessarily something that, you know, I particularly want to, you know, be doing every day. I think that's a little excessive.
Yeah.
But I think it is important.
In times of, like, you know, if transition, or if you eat some stuff that makes you feel a little funky, maybe if you're getting sick too, enemas can really help. And I've also heard energetically enemas really help with, like, anger and emotion. So you can do, like,
Releasing
if you're
some of
feeling
those
like
emotions.
pissed off and angry or something for some reason, go do an enema.
Poo out of ya.
Get it out. Like, you feel a lot lighter and everything. So maybe a couple enemas might really help.
So here, this one here. Oh, this here.
I think she's. Oh, hold on. Sorry. It
Okay.
sometimes jumps.
I think I
Oh, there's
recognize.
lots. Oh.
I reckon.
There we go.
Oh wow, yeah. So high carb, high grains, high anti-nutrients found in
Oh,
vegetables.
Brad Evans. Oh, hey, Brad. Yeah, I should have blocked you off my channel.
But God, no healthy animal fats. Oh no, scared to death of those.
No, I'm not going to answer your questions.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
dude.
Okay, so here we go. Could you have IBS? Yeah, it could be a little bit of that, little IBS, yeah.
Yeah, keto. I'm not a fan of keto. It's a state of starvation for the body. Yes, it forces your body to burn fat,
Yeah.
and you can lose weight. It does not heal diabetes.
No.
It masks it, because if you are not consuming any glucose, any sugars or anything like that, of course it's not going to show up on a sugar test. But if you do a glucose tolerance test, you're going to have a very low insulin sensitivity. So it's because of the fats. So we don't want to be doing keto. Keto is not.
I mean, for people who are trying to lose some weight real quick, you're going to drop some weight. If you're doing it right, you're going to drop some weight. But yeah, it's definitely not, it's not the healthiest thing for us long term. That's for sure. It's not where we're meant to be thriving at. And we want to thrive, you guys. That's what we want. We want to be thriving.
I put Brad in timeout because he started
yeah.
starting some stuff in the chat.
Yeah, come on.
Not cool.
Come on, man.
Yeah, thoughts on herbal tea. Herbal tea is awesome. If you want to do like fully raw, 100% herbal tea, get the herbs yourself, dry them in the dehydrator, and then when you boil the water, bring the temperature down to that 115, 120 range and use that water to steep your tea. That would be a 100% raw tea, but it doesn't necessarily matter. I drink herbal teas when I go out with my friends for coffee. I'll have a tea or something like that. I don't think it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
I will have them, and it's really nice in the winter to have like a cozy
Something
cup of tea
warm.
sometimes.
So now here, our bodies don't need cellular lemon juice. Well, they make me feel good. Whatever did to feel good. Yes, we want to feel good. Our bodies don't necessarily
doesn't need it, but it's raw food, and it helps some people.
We want to
so
be
why not?
hydrated. We're mostly water. The brain is 90% water. The body, they say, is 70 to 80% water. So yeah, the more hydrated we can be, the better we're gonna feel. So this is a good one here. I'm trying to eat raw foods, but can only eat about 1,300 calories. But they want to lose weight. San Chad.
Yeah.
I'm 150 pounds and 58. Okay, not 5'8".
I coached her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that too little?
Yes, that's very too little.
That's very
5'8". You should be having approximately.
She's 5'8".
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, 58. Sorry.
She's 58.
No, I thought that was your height.
Yeah.
150. Yeah, it is too little.
Yeah. But she says she's full.
You might want to try to increase. Put a couple more dates in your dressings, and I would honestly. You want to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, but the deficit should not come from cutting your food. Your deficit should come from increasing your exercise. So if you can increase your exercise and still maintain like a really high total of nutrition, because 1,300 calories is not going to get you the nutrition you need. So, and that's where a lot of people find that they have problems on a raw diet, is because they're not getting enough nutrition. So they feel crappy or whatever, and they run into deficiencies, and then they end up falling off eventually. You're saying that raw vegan diet or a vegan diet didn't help because they just weren't getting enough in. So it's really, really important that you try to get more in if you can. I know it's hard. Smoothies are a great option.
Yeah, banana ice cream.
Soups, like raw soups, you could blend some greens into some soups and try and get that in there too. Dates help with your dressings.
So Anthony Williams, he's medical medium, suggests having lemon water and then waiting 15 minutes to have the celery juice. That's okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I was like, the lemon water first and then...
Yeah. So lemon water makes me feel great, April Marie says, especially in the mornings. Everyday good digestion with it. Good, yes. Lemon water is great.
Drink. Yeah, weight started to come off. The lemon water is really, really important. Lemon water, honestly, I think that is one of the major reasons why my cellulite went away.
Kind of tightened up, huh?
Yeah, the lemon water, because it heals, it doesn't heal, but it stimulates the liver to cleanse more. So lemon water, very, very, very important. And don't use cold water. You should be using warm, like room temperature water. I have my water in the fridge, and I should keep it on the counter, but sometimes I do cold water. But by the time I'm really drinking it, it's like already room temperature.
Yeah. So yes, peas, love, and joy. Yeah, tried the celery juice, not a fan. So see, everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah, some people don't like it at all.
You just got to figure out what works for you. Yeah.
celery juice helped with acid reflux. Yes, and it helps actually to feed the good bacteria as well.
Raw River
awesome.
Kids, I love you guys.
Hey,
Remington, Liberty,
Remington
Klamath.
and Liberty. Mwah.
Love you guys.
You guys are so awesome. Big hugs.
Big hugs, big hugs.
Sweet little kids, and they're raw.
They're
and
awesome
they're
kids.
amazing.
You guys are cool. Hope you guys are having fun with that race car track.
Oh.
Last time went to a work party, others couldn't even finish their chicken wings with us there. Isn't it interesting? Like
Yeah.
something within us, I feel like we really all kind of know. Like I have friends that have kids that raise pigs, you know, and cows and stuff for FFA, and it's sad to see what they go through when it comes time to actually having to slaughter those animals. I think that we're all like, I think that all of us are pretty much in that same kind of mindset that we're all vegan, so to speak. We don't want to kill animals.
Exactly.
So
Tammy, thank you very much, love.
Healthy animal fats? Ha ha ha. Lisa D says, yes, exactly. Lisa, my father died of a stroke because he ate high animal fat every day of his life. Exactly.
My grandmother, too.
I came from a little bit of a medical background. My mom's definitely heavy medical background, coronary care unit. We actually have a friend on here. I don't know if she's still with us, Erin, but she works in the CCU, which is the coronary care unit. Patients come up directly out of OR. Look at Chai's coming in for a little bit.
Chai's coming in for... You want to be part of the video?
He does too. So come in directly from the OR, right out of heart surgery, and you know, from the information that I've gathered in being in this realm, in this niche or whatever you want to call it, is definitely too much animal fats in our system, you guys. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I, you know, the people that I would see in the coronary care unit getting stents, which is basically you've got a clogged, you know, you picture you've got a hose, and that hose is clogged in different areas. Well, this is the most clogged area. We'll just put a little balloon in there and open it up. But it's not fixing these other parts of the hose that are clogged as well. And if you're not going to change what you put into your tube, then you're going to have some issues.
Yeah, and the only diet scientifically proven to reverse heart disease is a whole food plant-based diet.
Whole food plant-based
Low
diet.
fat.
And now I like to picture that when people do have these amazing results on a whole food plant-based diet, they're actually getting the amazing reversal action happening from those raw foods, not necessarily the cooked foods. Even they're eating a bunch of cooked foods. That's how powerful raw food is. Like, we're meant to eat it raw, you guys.
Out of the 8.7 million species on the planet, we're the only ones that cook our food.
Now,
Not saying that it's bad.
Some argue, though, that our brains got bigger from when we, you know, came with the fire and we started cooking the flesh and we started eating the animals. I don't know. How do we really know? We can't speculate. We can sit there and go round and round, and we can actually argue with friends and family members and hate on each other after that conversation because you can't change either or persons of the mind. We don't know because we didn't live 200,000 years ago. We're here right now, 2019, and we are seeing, what we are seeing is people reverse the myriad of many, like, life-threatening diseases, people that are going to die within like a few weeks. And they say, you know what? I don't want to go conventional. I'm going to go back to nature's way and eat real foods. Nature's way isn't necessarily eating... Yes, we can eat raw meat. Like when you eat beef jerky is basically raw. It's dehydrated. Sure, you can eat that. But I like to picture that our native, you know, ancestors were eating those kind of foods in the wintertime.
Yeah, and for survival purposes.
Very, very little bits. Like we're talking like this much, you guys, like not very much at all. Not how we're eating now. We're like this much. Three times a day. It's too much. Yeah. And we're seeing it in the medical industry. Now, there was a person that made the comment there a little bit ago and trying to come in and, like, you know, poo-poo on the party. And it's really, it's sad because of the misinformation that's out there.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, there's people who come on my channel and tell me that I need to eat meat and everything. And the thing is that meat, like animal products and even things like processed foods or whatever, I consider them all survival foods.
Survival foods.
Survival.
They're not thrival foods.
We don't live in a survival time.
Could totally survive off those foods, for sure.
Yeah.
But can you thrive? Can you reverse diseases? Can you reverse cancers? No.
Yeah.
You can't. Literally, you cannot. We're spending $5 billion a year in America. Now I'm in Canada. I don't know what Canada's health, situation is, and
It's free. No.
well, I know it's free.
I know.
Like how much is
we pay for it in our
it's
taxes.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like we're totally if there's a race as far as whose health, we're losing the race. America is losing.
It's
And other countries, Mexico, UK,
even Australia, everywhere, really.
everybody's following suit because
Mm-hmm.
it's glamorized. The commercials and the additives that are put in these things, it's an addiction, you guys.
Yeah.
That's why we're recovering food addicts, and
And we're trying to help you guys. How many
okay.
calories should someone that's 5'8" consume? I think that on
Activity
average,
level.
What's
your activity level?
Yeah, it's so many different factors come into
Definitely.
play, but try and aim for 2,000 and then work your way up from there.
Yeah.
At 5'8", I would say give or take around 2,200 to 2,300 calories should be like your goal, and try and eat more if you want to. If you're exercising, you're going to need more calories. If you are sedentary, you're going to need maybe a little less, but don't go under 2,000. Try not to, because at 2,000 is where you get the majority of all of your nutrition, and you should be aiming for that.
Yeah. And someone says here raw Valine raw.
Yeah.
Raw Valine raw. Understand that because I did not lose weight because I ate too little.
Mm-hmm. And when you're not eating too little, there's two things that that can happen. It depends on how your body reacts to it. If you're eating too little, you could lose weight because you're just not eating enough, and your body will naturally lose weight. But if you are a person that stores fat easily, if you're not eating enough, your body is like, whoa, when am I going to get anything else? Like, I'm not sure
So
when I'm going to get more. So it stores it all, and it's harder to lose weight if
Our
you don't
bodies
eat
are
enough.
like 2 steps ahead of us all the time. Really.
And eating more like regular. Like, I know that's like what we were talking about, intuitive eating, but more intuitively eating more often. So like more often small meals throughout the day, like grazing, to help your body keep that metabolism revved up. Because if you aren't eating enough, or you're eating very low, the two things that shut down first is your metabolism and your hormones.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Interesting. Interesting.
And that's why a lot of girls
best.
lose their periods.
Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah, because if they're not eating enough, even on meat, even on high fat, even whatever, if they're not eating enough, they'll lose their period. Yeah.
See?
We need the calories, guys. It's so important.
So, high nutrient, high water equals raw equals magic. Yeah,
It sure does.
Or high nutrient, high water,
Raw.
minus raw equals magic. Is that right? Minus raw?
I think it just means raw.
Yeah, okay.
Typo.
Hey, cognitive dissonance. That is like the best saying in the world. I mean, realistically, we have that on so many levels. I don't know if you guys dive into other conspiracies, but we have lots of cognitive dissonance happening on all kinds of levels. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, there's lots more questions, guys.
I know, you guys. I know we missed some garlic.
Garlic
and tomatoes.
Yes, garlic and tomatoes are life.
Garlic, yeah. So,
I will never give those up.
Yeah. Love your videos, love your message, but I don't like too much cold food in the winter. Can't seem to keep warm.
For that, I have a couple things I want to say.
The thyroid issue.
Yeah, thyroid is big. Check your thyroid, get tested for that. Make sure you're getting enough iodine.
Yeah, get Lugol's iodine and put some on your wrist in the morning time, and that might also kind of regulate that master gland to where you're going to be, able to keep your body temperature up. Because, definitely, and I feel you. But, I mean, I'm like sitting outside and it's snowing and I'm eating banana ice cream. So, I mean, everybody is different.
I know. And also, some tips for the winter stuff. Make sure you're eating enough, because like we said, if you don't eat enough, your metabolism goes down and then you get colder. So if you're not eating enough, you're going to feel colder naturally, because your body is like down-regulates the temperature, and your metabolism is your internal furnace. So you're like throwing coal in the fire every time you eat. So you want to keep your fire going. If you don't, it's going to cause like that cold. Also, a big tip is to not eat things right out of the fridge.
Yeah.
Like, don't store your cucumbers, your tomatoes, all of that in the fridge, because you don't want to have a big cold salad. Room temperature.
And another thing that we have done, actually we were doing it tonight, is we washed our lettuce in some like lukewarm water. So the lettuce wasn't like super cold and crisp.
Yeah.
I mean, and it wasn't like nasty at all. It wasn't warm.
Yeah, just
but it took the edge off.
Yeah, take the edge off. And then you can also use your Vitamix or dehydrator to warm stuff up.
So
that's a good bonus. And
Yeah.
Spices in the winter. Cayenne.
Spices, cayenne peppers. Yeah, and the dehydrator is so cool for the zoodles, like kind of warm the zoodles up, or even to warm your plate up.
Yeah.
Like, because you're like, all right, you got the warm plate or the warm bowl, the warm soup. Yeah, for sure. Or even some warm lemon water.
And just bundle up. Do 100 squats.
Oh my gosh.
Or some
Definitely.
jumping jacks. That'll warm
That's
you up.
one thing we should have said right away.
Yeah.
If you're cold, move. Like, our bodies are literally designed to move. And so, yeah, you do those squats, do some jumping jacks, hold a plank for 1 minute. Probably raise your body temperature up a little bit too. If you guys can get upside down I think is really good. Pythagoras said the ancient Greeks lived on fruit and lived 200 years. Vera Hill, I fully agree with you. When we picture Greek gods, what do we picture? They're being fanned by the fig leaves.
Bye, Tammy.
And they're like eating grapes.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
And the food of the rich was always the bread, the pasta, the animal products.
Yeah. And those rich people, man, they did not look good.
Thoughts on kombucha? I don't eat it or drink it. I don't use kombucha. The reason being, I have an aversion to it because I had a bad experience with it, and I also am sober. I don't choose to drink any alcohol, which includes kombucha.
So yeah, and John Hopkins, anthropologist, found human are frugivores. I believe that 100%.
I believe that too.
From the different research that I've done, the whole anatomy and physiology of our body, how we break stuff down. There's so many different. We could have a whole live just on that, how we're designed to literally break fruits down. If you like animals, you don't eat them. If you like meat, eat dog and cat, because there's no difference. Exactly.
So true.
There's totally. I have friends that I just had this conversation on the way up. I stopped and saw a friend I haven't seen in like 15 years. And they're like, oh my gosh, you look great. And of course, they looked about 50 to 80 pounds heavier. I don't know, 80 pounds, but I mean, it's definitely 50 pounds heavier than what they were in high school. And they said, oh, well, we like to get, the grass-fed, beef. And I'm not a hardcore activist. But I try to shed a little bit of light. I want to be kind of lighthearted. I'm definitely like a people pleaser. I don't like to get up in people's, business as to what they should be doing.
Hi, Angel.
But it's really tricky because there is no humane way, and they had a dog, a little puppy.
Be right back.
And I'm like, hey, look at you guys and how much you love this puppy. Now picture this puppy being torn from you and shredded up to parts. And their little girl was bummed me even saying that. And she went to the other room and was kind of frustrated. And I was like, oh shoot, I didn't want to frustrate her. But exactly. Try to picture eating your own pet. It's really interesting because I've got a lot of friends that are hunters and fishermen. And I used to hunt and fish myself. And I can understand and respect these concepts. But they all have pets. And so if they could try to picture eating their own pet, there's definitely that disconnection happening for sure. It's so interesting.
I'm sorry.
So do you have any?
Answer the next question.
Okay, yeah, you got it.
Yep.
So
shampoo.
Shampoo, other than Dr. Bronner's.
I use Andalou. It's a Canacell. So it's cannabis stem cell. And these are the ones I use, and I really, really like them.
Peas, love, and joy. Sedentary. I sit at a desk 8 hours in the medical office. Now, she had that question about, wasn't it the one with the 1,300 calories?
No, she was a 5'8", maybe.
Okay.
Sedentary. Just honestly, just start with 2,200.
Okay, yeah,
and
she says
play
here.
around. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of sorts of things. 900 calories to 1,500, but that just feels to create metabolic issues.
Oh my gosh, that's way too low.
Way too low.
The problem is, it slows your metabolism down when you don't eat enough, but you're also not getting enough nutrition. I say calorie deficit or calorie restriction equals nutrient restriction.
Majorly.
And you don't want to restrict your nutrition. That's so important. So all of these people with the BMR, with the basal metabolic rate, which is the base metabolic needs that your body has. So mine's 1,200. So when you enter Chronometer, it's you need 1,200 a day. Yeah. And you're well, that's what you need for basic body functions. That doesn't include walking to the bathroom or sleep, all of this kind of stuff that you got to do throughout your day. Yeah. And then on top of that, you've got any work you do or any exercise you do or anything like that. So that's why 2,000 is a good marker.
That's another huge thing that makes me think about water. And that was one of the things that we should have mentioned when people were asking about the water is they say that we, just by breathing, we're using 32 ounces of water a day just by breathing. And, bodily functions, another 16 ounces. And if you're having conversations, another 32 ounces. They're basically saying the best way to stay completely hydrated is to drink half your body weight in ounces a day. And then you're knowing that you're staying hydrated. And I know that, like, at least 95% of the population is not drinking half their body weight in ounces a day.
Yeah.
And so we're chronically dehydrated.
Plus, we're eating foods that dehydrate us. So
Crackers and chips and pastas and
cookies,
bread,
pastries, breads, even
sucking the
baked
hydration.
potatoes
Totally.
are dry. So, you know, it doesn't matter how much water that you're drinking in. It's
we talk
never
about
going
that
to
too.
be,
Like, I could eat, literally, like, if we were to do it right now, no problem at all. I could eat 5 broccoli flowerets if they were steamed.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like you're cooking the nutrients out of it, or the moisture out of it. A steamed broccoli, it's so different than, or I mean cooked. Steamed different. Yeah, cooked. If it was cooked, if it was like sauteed, I could eat so much spinach or broccoli. You know, it shrinks down to like you have a spinach that's like this much in the pan, and you cook it down, and it's like there's nothing left.
You take away all the water, because spinach, I mean, most people don't think that it's like high in water, but it's like 92% water or something like that. So, like, our fruits and vegetables have this synergistic water.
Yeah.
And they did, I always talk about this,
Oh, this
the
is such a
study
great
with the
study.
cucumber, where they had one group of people eating a cucumber and the other group of people drinking the same amount of water that would be found in the cucumber. After they did a hydration test, the group that ate the cucumber was twice as hydrated as the group that
Isn't
drank
that
the water.
fascinating, you guys?
So that's why, that's a huge, like, one of the number one reasons why I eat raw food.
Eat your food. So now this is a great one. Peace, love, and joy, and we are
Love this
totally going to
question.
do this.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we'll do a couples cooking class.
Yeah.
And that's definitely like, kind of like one of our, dreams on the vision board is we would like to have like a conversion van or something we could live in and just travel.
Yeah,
Like,
and
we'll-
do like a tour.
Yeah, do a tour of the States, maybe hop up into Canada and, hit the schools and different, like, maybe some medical, facilities, maybe possibly some senior homes, to show people, like, how to cook.
Yeah,
how to cook
how
together.
To make some raw food.
Yeah, how to do it together.
Yeah.
And it's fun. We have to retrain ourselves. Like, we've been brought up to, a certain, to know a certain way of preparing our food. If you want to make, steak and potatoes, and, sauteed vegetables, you're going to get the, pan going, you're going to start this over here, you're going to get the water going over here, and it's just, it's embedded in us, so we have to retrain ourselves. And that's definitely like, we're pumped to be able to do some couples cooking classes for sure. And we got to pull the dudes into this whole world. The dudes need to be in here. Definitely.
Eveline says, you were both made for each other. We are going to get married really quick in the Redwoods, very quietly, to get my visa, but we're going to throw a bigger wedding in 2020 sometime
2020.
in the desert in Nevada.
Yeah,
So
fall
that's-
time. Or springtime.
Springtime.
Yeah, and we'll pump that because it would be really cool to have like so many people there. Like we want it to be a big party, and it's going to be all raw and it's going to be all catered.
Can't afford a Vitamix. Is there anything cheaper that would work?
Check this out. Before we answer that, I would like to say, go to Vitamix. And I got a certified reconditioned machine that's a $560 machine. I got it for $300, and they took payments.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
I paid $25 a month for 6 months or however many months that was. I'm pretty bad at math, but I paid $25 a month for my machine. It's $300, and it's an 8-year warranty. I would just make it happen. Other than that, look on Craigslist.
Yeah,
My mom
Craigslist.
has found, she has 3 Vitamixes.
And there's 5 dehydrators there or something.
She
4?
has 4 dehydrators, but she's selling one. She got the dehydrator for free. All it needed was a heating element. So if you look on Craigslist, or I'm not sure, if you're in the States.
Kijiji in Canada.
Okay, yeah. So,
buy
shop-
and sell on Facebook.
Buy and sell, totally. Try to find something like that. There's nothing like the Vitamix. And the reason that I say that is because it's got the accelerator stick or the accelerator wand or the tamper, and you can push your food down into that blade, and it makes it so much faster. We've had a Blendtec, we've had a Ninja food processor, and of course the cheap juicers, Magic Bullet. There's nothing that compares to the Vitamix, you guys.
Yeah,
nothing.
totally. Mario, he went vegan and was so easy. Now that he's trying to go raw on 80-10-10, I'm having some serious cravings.
Right.
I just want a complete pepperoni pizza. What's
Right.
wrong?
Totally.
My suggestion for that would be that you are probably not eating enough. It's very, very difficult to make
Yes.
sure that you're getting enough calories on
Chronometer.
raw. Chronometer. Go to
Chronometer.
chronometer.com. There's no H in that word. Chronometer.com and enter your food that you're having.
Yes.
And you'll be surprised at how little you're eating
Very
or
true.
how high fat you're
And then
eating.
after you do chronometer for like a month, you don't need to do it anymore because you
Yeah.
pretty much know what you got to get in daily.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're not eating enough, man, and you're, I hear you. It's going to take a minute to battle through those cravings.
Yeah.
And what I like to picture
Food
is
addiction too.
it's food addiction, and there's parasites that live within us. We have all kinds of parasites. We got yeast, mold, fungus, candida, body fat, actual worms, and these things are in there. Look at you go. And these things are in there like.
I'm like, it's really volumey today.
These things are in there and they want to survive. And so when you're cutting off their food supply and you're eating high raw, they have no food to eat because they eat dead matter. And bless them that they do, because we would have a myriad of problems if we did not have those guys breaking down that dead matter.
Mm-hmm.
They're dying and they're starving. And there's where your cravings are coming from. That's what I believe. Now, I'm sure
you're answering Megan's question.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Yep,
Keep
yep.
going.
So the parasites and the food cravings. I like to picture when someone is like, I'm just going to have this cupcake. I'm thinking to myself, that's the parasites talking. Because they were so strong this last week on their keto diet, no sugar. And now they're like having this crash craving and they want to have a cupcake because it's somebody's birthday.
Yeah.
And it's the parasites. That body fat, literally body fat is alive and it's growing and it knows what it needs to survive. So it's going to excrete a certain kind of hormone, chemical, and we're neurologically connected all within. You're gonna have some issues, when you are basically cutting off these different parasites' food supply.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, dealing with that is huge too.
Yeah.
And food addiction, habit. We're creatures of habit.
I still get
used
cravings,
to
you guys.
I still do too when I'm stressed out.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes, and I have had popcorn. Because like, how do we really know? There's this saying like, okay, I slept on the floor and I slept so good last night. So good. And they're like, I'm just going to sleep on the floor every night. And they're like, and that could be like a going raw, right? Mm-hmm. Going raw is the metaphor of like you're sleeping on the floor. Well, then let's go back to eating cooked food. Let's go back to sleeping on the bed just to make sure that the bed wasn't more comfortable than the floor. So you kind of have to like maybe play with it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
But I know that I had some popcorn at the movie theater and I did not feel very good. I did not feel very good. And of course we had the oil put on it and the salt and it was so delicious. Like it felt really good right here.
I love when you do that.
Like, probably like
right
right,
here,
right past
in this
here.
area.
It was
yeah,
just
all
like,
here.
I want to self-induce.
Oh man, yeah, it's hard. Cooking class in Portland.
Yes.
Yes, if we can find a
Totally.
place, we'll come up
When
and do it.
she's down
Yeah.
there, you guys, we are like, this is going to be such a fun year. Like, this next chapter of our life is going to be so much fun. We have so many ideas of things that we want to get going.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So now, a
We're
9
just talking
tray.
about trays and dehydrated.
9 tray
awesome.
Excalibur for $20.
Wow.
Exactly. So shop around. Shop around, man. You guys can find this. There's some people that buy a brand new Vitamix and they're like, we don't ever really use this. Let's sell this thing. And you can find a brand new one. Food addiction can be the same as drug addiction. So true. Food is a drug, you guys.
Dopamine.
Dopamine release. I
Yeah.
mean, look at us. We're so addicted out there.
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
I will be writing more books. Nate is coming up with a nice cream book. There's going to be, I think we're going to split it into sections. We're going to do like the good food combining section and the bad food
in the nice cream book.
in the nice cream
Yeah,
book.
because we're gonna have it's all gonna be vegan. There's not gonna be any milk in that, But definitely there is, the pristine
Yeah.
clean, and then there's like the naughty if you're feeling kind of naughty,
Or if you're
naughty
trying to
section.
get someone off traditional ice cream, make them
Totally.
that stuff, right?
So
yeah.
I have this recipe, and I'll give it to you guys. It's maple syrup, it's almond butter, cacao powder, and some cacao nibs, and I call it the chocolate or the almond maple crunch. Almond maple crunch, and I
Frozen
have
bananas.
and of course,
Yeah, yeah.
frozen bananas. And I get people who are like dairy heads. I like to call them dairy heads, and I was a dairy head myself. Like I would literally sit and eat a half, carton of ice cream, like sitting on the counter. I'm like, I don't need an addition to a bowl. I'm just gonna have a couple bites. Next thing you know, half the thing's gone. But it is so good. But it's like it's a naughty one.
Yeah, it's not smart food combining, but it can help get people off the ice cream, and then they can move towards a low-fat version.
Yeah. Yeah, get Lissa's books, man. You guys will support her. This is what she puts her hard work into. She really puts all kinds of love and into her work, and it, you know, man, it's like, it's so cheap. It's, you know, you'll have it forever. You'll have those recipes forever. Like I was telling her, like I bought all of her books. You know, we weren't like completely together at that point in time, like, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. But I'm like, I don't even care. Like, I want to buy. I want to support you. You know, like I want them all. What is it? $100? I'll give you $100. You know, like I ended up paying like $5 more or whatever. Actually, I think
I gave you a deal.
You gave me a deal because you paid for shipping, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I paid the shipping.
But yeah.
But yeah, Jonathan, hey bud, he wants us to do a book together.
Yes.
We will.
We will. It's going to be so cool.
We've got a lot planned.
We have a full wall of vision board stuff that we are like so excited for this next 5 years of stuff that we're going to be doing.
Aw, thank you, Prairie. Aww.
But yeah, look at here. Peace, love, and joy. Oh man, I stopped meat and dairy and then decided I would have some. Worst choice ever. Messed my stomach up like ingested poison. My whole body went, yes, exactly. Your body's like, what are you doing to me?
Yeah.
And then plus you've been like feeding the other gut bacteria that helps break down the good foods. You start eating these really funky foods, and then your body's like, whoa, wait a minute, what are we doing? How we can't even break this down. One thing that I like, and I try to explain with raw too, is you have a bag of cherries, right? And that bag of cherries, each cherry represents the enzyme that it takes to break down hard foods that are, you know, like animal products. Now, we're born with this bag of cherries. Now, if you eat raw foods, everything that's in that food, it's a complete food, it breaks itself down. You don't have to use your own enzyme power. But when you eat lots of processed foods and lots of animal products, then you're having to use your own enzymes to break that down. And then pretty soon you have none left because we can't reproduce these enzymes. And so then we have colon issues, in which we have colon issues which is just as big as heart issues.
Is it all right to eat walnut oil? The rest of the day I never eat any fat and just use 1 tablespoon. And all of your books use the macros is so helpful. Thank you. Yeah, I'm actually redoing my original book to be the same format as this one, so it's easier to read. But I did put the macros in the book to help people to kind of see what their day is going to be about. But as for the walnut oil, I do not believe that oil is a health food whatsoever.
It's a highly processed food. And and we are a water-based machine. This is a machine that our soul is driving. This body is a machine. And it's a water-based machine, and oil does not belong in a water-based machine. Hands down. It's very calorically dense. Of course, you know, you're going to get your calories in and such. But, you know, some people will put oil on their salad, like, you know, oil and vinegar. You know, it's best just to leave the oil out. Definitely. I don't. Lissa doesn't as well. We don't have oils. No oils. And, of course, where our information came from was, you know, watching Forks Over Knives and listening to some of, you know, Caldwell Esselstyn's talks, and, you know, they scream, no oil. And it makes perfect sense when they break it down because they're research scientists and physicians. Like, we are not, you know, but it makes sense when they break it down in the sense that they break it down, and that oil does not belong in this body. Yeah,
and if you are using the walnut oil for omega-3 source, I would highly recommend sourcing out like a blue-green algae. E3 Live is really good or get a vegan DHA supplement. That'll be really good. But if you want like a seed source, chia and flax.
Chia and flax, so
but not the
good.
oils. The oils clog your cells. They can create hyperlipidemia.
Yeah, just not a good thing for our system. We're not meant to have that processed. You know, that's a really highly refined, highly processed food.
What are your thoughts about eating coconut? I hear it's butter in the vegan world. I do not consume coconut oil and never will.
It's the highest in saturated
fat and it's not good. Coconut, though, I eat young Thai coconut because it's only 33% fat, and it's raw and it's alive and it's good. Like, it's decent. I have young Thai coconut maybe once or twice a month. give or take. Coconut water,
I wish
though,
I could
I'll
have
drink
more of
more
that.
often. Yeah.
If I lived in a bigger city, dairy caused acne in me as a teen.
Yeah. I had acne right up until I was 34.
Totally.
Finally, I'm finally free.
Oh my gosh.
It was so horrible.
Dairy, I feel like dairy and sugar are the gateway drugs. Like
Yeah.
they say it's marijuana, but I think it's sugar and dairy. So now here, okay, well, thank you, walnut going out. Okay, yeah, just give it a shot. Get that out of there.
Yeah, and if you want to do walnut, just have like 3 or 4 whole walnuts.
Whole walnuts.
Eat the whole thing, because then you're still getting the. We make like a taco meat. Sometimes we'll add some walnut to it.
Or I'll put walnuts on my ice cream.
Yeah.
Now check this out, Angie here, Trey from Raw Gypsy, Not Quite Hippie. I love that name too.
I know, he's got a cool
Angie, his
channel, too.
beloved, seems to have indigestion every time she eats bananas, ripened or not. Any thoughts on that?
Is she eating them too fast?
Yeah, fast.
That could be.
As well as I wonder about like your chronometer, your macros. Like, what's the fat intake? Would that have some kind of?
Yeah, if she's eating them with fats, yeah, that could be too. Or maybe she just has a sensitivity to bananas. Switching them out for mangoes or pineapple or some other fruit would work too. But the first thing that came to my mind was maybe she's eating them too fast and maybe like chew more.
Right.
Like because our saliva has amylase in it, which is our carbohydrate digestive enzyme, and it's digested first in the mouth before anywhere else.
So they say to this is the best juicer, right?
Yeah,
here. This is
totally
the best juicer,
is.
masticated down to, which it is kind of tricky to chew your food 20 times, 20 chews before you swallow. Oh, you guys, this has been so much fun.
Aww,
we had a great time.
So good to see you both happy.
Oh, it's been so good. It stinks to not be together every day. It's hard.
It's really
hard. But we're getting
hard.
close. Like we only have maybe 2 more months. So
hopefully, yeah.
And as you can see, we've got all of our boxes packed up back here. Like it's happening.
I know. Pretty soon
We're gonna organize her. She's gonna be an organ transplant.
I can't wait. And like we've got so many things planned. Like we said, we want to do retreats, we want to do classes, we want to do online courses for you guys, like a full raw immersion kind of deal. We've got recipe books. Nate's gonna do his journey, kind of how to help guys.
It's gonna be called
there.
From Dad Bod to Rad Bod. You guys, what do you guys think of that name?
Love that
From
name.
Dad Bod to
Dad
Rad Bod.
Bod to Rad Bod. Yeah. And
we'll do a Sweetheart Approved.
Yeah, we've got another book that's.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. It's so tricky because we're apart for a few weeks, then we get together and we're like, oh my gosh, it's been so awesome. And then we can't really get too much, healthy work done because we're so enthralled with going on a trip or doing some hikes or whatever.
Just being together.
It's going to be really nice when we're together on a daily basis.
And yes, Chai's coming with me.
Yes, Chai's definitely coming with.
He's totally coming with.
Yeah.
Man, that cat's been with me for 18 years. I can't.
So what do we think of Freely the Banana Girl?
I have some opinions. I love Freely. I think she's amazing.
She's a rock star hardcore.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely everybody's everybody's a little different, and she's a unique individual. And back in 2012, it was Durian Ryder, it was David Wolf, it was Dan the Man. Those are the people that I watched, and that that was really kind of those are the people that got the gears turning upstairs for me.
Yeah.
And I think that Freely is pretty hardcore.
She is very hardcore.
She's hardcore.
Honestly, I totally love her, right now where she is in her life. She's very freely. She's not shaving and not wearing any makeup, really promoting that. But the only thing that I don't like about it is that sometimes I feel shamed when I read her posts because I like to wear makeup. I like to do my hair, and I don't do it for anybody but me. I just
you look awesome.
Sure, I like that he likes to put my hair straight.
Does up her makeup and stuff, so it looks so cool.
And it's fun, and I don't do it because I hate myself. I do it because it's an expression. There are tribes, the native tribes, they'll paint their face, and there's some that put stuff in their hair, or they wear certain things, cut their lips and do their things. And it's all self-expression, and I'm all for self-expression, and if she wants to express herself in the most natural way possible, then that's totally awesome. I just don't like the shaming that goes on.
I don't, she's hardcore.
She's very hardcore,
and,
but she's
I
awesome.
love her passion, you know, like she's very passionate, she's very blunt, and there's just, I don't know, I think she's pretty damn cool. I like her
really
rants,
cool.
and I like how, like, they're just, you know, they're hardcore people.
Last saw your difference again with Vegan Boss Lady. Yeah, I did a interview with her. That was really awesome. She's pretty cool.
Yes, looking forward to the wedding day in the Redwoods. Oh man, I can't wait. It can't come fast enough. Y'all bring the vibe on Earth. Thank you.
Powerful.
So powerful. Love it.
We all have the power. We have the power, you guys. You have the power with your dollar bills.
Totally.
There are so many things going
Vote with our
around the
dollars.
internet where it's like the government, if we could just get them to change this, if we could get big companies to change this. It's not the companies that we need to get to change, it's us. We have to change. We speak with our dollar and we have all the power. The pharmaceutical companies don't.
Yes.
The agribusiness doesn't. The government doesn't. We have the power.
Have the power.
We are the power.
Yep.
We can do it.
Look at all these vegan transition foods. Look at all the different kinds of milk there is out there, nut milks.
Oat milk and almond milk and soy milk.
They want to give us what we want. And so if we're voting with our dollars, definitely they're gonna find a way to make products that we're gonna buy. Now check this out here. What do we think about the people that say they quit vegan for health? I don't understand. Okay, cooked food, I understand, but not vegan. So yeah, you know, we were talking about that just a little bit ago, about how people quit, you know, being vegan.
Yeah.
And it's tricky because, you know, I personally, like I have a friend, you know, we have a friend, Konstantinos, and he was like on his deathbed with pneumonia, hardcore, and he was like...
He's Higher Self Manifesto on YouTube, by the way, guys.
Higher Self Manifesto, amazing, and he's got these amazing interviews with all kinds of like pioneers and key people in this movement. You know, he has a list of questions he asks some amazing individuals.
Yeah, we're both, eventually we'll both show up on his channel. Higher Self Manifesto, go check him out. Yeah,
so
but anyways.
Cool. So now he was like on his deathbed. He was going to die. And he's like, I would rather die than eat an egg.
Sarah loves my hair.
I would rather die than eat chicken.
Yeah, me too.
Now,
no way.
There you go. So it's like these individuals have, you know, serious issues, health issues. And no, like you and I aren't on our deathbed in the hospital bed, so we're not faced with these kind of things. But I know that morally, I would rather pass on, you know, than go against my morals at this point in time in my life. Maybe I wouldn't have felt the same way in my 20s. I know I wouldn't have, you know, but I feel it's really sad that people are going backwards and they're having some serious issues within themselves that aren't being there maybe before they even became, you know, vegan, or, you know, and vegan is so tricky because it's like, what is vegan? Oreos are vegan. Pringles are vegan.
Yeah, there's
you know,
vegan donuts and vegan pizza and
there's
Beyond Burgers
vegan
and blah, blah, blah.
crap everywhere. And if you're posting pictures, which some of these people, we're like, who are these people? I'm like, I don't even know this person. I want to check them out. And I'm like, oh, well, no wonder they're having so many issues. Look at all these junk food pieces of, you know, pictures they're posting on their Instagram. They're obviously not balanced. They're not eating.
Yeah.
They're not eating compassionately. Like, they're not caring about themselves. They're eating vegan stuff. As long as it's vegan, they're going to eat it. So I think there's some seriously...
Yeah, but also there's other things too, like SIBO, the bacteria that overgrows in your small intestine, which you need to get tested for, and not very many doctors test for that. That can cause a lot of digestive upset. And if they're trying, you know, like they could have deficiencies. They could have the placebo effect. There are so many reasons why people might want to go back to animal products, but the thing is that scientifically, animal products are not healthy for us.
Yes.
We can get everything from plants, and omega-3 from algae, very, very important.
Very important.
If you're having issues there, B12,
there's
vitamin
always
D, vitamin
another
K2.
way. There's there's more than one way.
Yeah.
And someone says here, such a bummer about Banana Girl and Durian. She hasn't watched her. I have to go give her a look. Oh, I don't watch YouTube very much, you guys. Like, I watched. I watched one video just not too long ago because she was freaking out about somebody else who went, back to animal products, and they were like a really big person in the vegan world. And I was like, I want to see what she says. And I didn't watch the whole video, and just for the little bit, I'm like, I'll love freely. Like, she's so awesome. Because she was on a rant. And like sometimes it's cool to rant and just to let it out, but that also can kind of be.
It can hurt some people too, and it can make people feel like vegans are mean and all that kind of stuff. Like it's really hard to maneuver around that.
Yeah.
Especially when you have such passion and you want to share.
Thanks, April. Love you.
You listen to us all night. I know it's hard. Like we're like, oh, we're gonna start this at 7.
We're like, well,
maybe
we'll do
15 minutes.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like a half hour or something.
It's like 2 hours.
2 hours later. So now here it says here, Lissa, will you be doing a bunch of classes at Planet Organic before you move to Oregon?
I don't think so.
Did you just do your last one?
I think I just did my last one. It honestly, it totally depends on what our lawyer says. Like Nate's gonna go see our lawyer.
Very possibly you can get one more in.
I might be able to. It just depends on the timing and when I can.
Then you've also got family here and friends here, so it's not like she's never gonna come back to Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
And
just watch my Instagram.
Canada. I would like to come spend some time up here in the summertime.
Yeah, and actually I was thinking of maybe trying to come back in June, like the 3rd week in June.
Yeah, and
hopefully
and of course
it just depends on how things go. I'll pump it on my Instagram and do my stories and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Redwood wedding. It's gonna be so cool.
And Sarah loves my hair. I love my hair. What do you guys think of the no bangs thing? That's like the first time I've had no bangs in like 10 years.
I kind of was like, man, I hope people aren't like, man, this guy Nate came into her life and like, look at her. She's like growing her bangs out and she's moving out of the country, stealing Lissa away. I love her hair.
Oh.
I mean, I love her hair no matter what. She could have a shaved head. I don't even care.
I love you so much. Aww.
Okay, so elaborate on that. Can I elaborate? I can elaborate on that. Okay, maybe he's talking to someone
Jonathan,
else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sleeping Giant, totally agree. We have the power, future, yes.
I say to my husband, just because it's vegan organic doesn't mean it's good for you.
Right, that's totally
so true. Sometimes one has to hit rock bottom to experience. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hello, Mary.
so
happy
true.
to catch us live.
Yeah, I've said. As I said, I have a Crohn doctor and said you also need proteins, so meat or report. I refused and said I would rather die than eat animals. But by people like you, I know what I can do exactly.
Mm-hmm. And it's all trial and error, and we got to try different things, and we got to seek out those people.
There's a great book right here, and this here is. By one of the leading bariatric surgeons in the States called Proteinaholic. And this guy here was a proponent for a high protein diet back in 2008. And then he found out he had super high cholesterol and he was going to be basically on the hospital bed himself if he didn't shift up what he was doing. And so now he has changed his whole tune through the research that he's done. And this is a surgeon, you guys. This is one of the leading bariatric surgeons in America. And he is shed some amazing light on how our addiction to protein and pumping that protein is like the source of everybody, yes, our skin is made of protein.
Yeah, we
our
need
nails
protein, but we don't need these like obscene amounts of it.
Right. And protein is in everything. It's an amino acid chain. It's literally in everything. Now, what was interesting is we were talking how the World Health Organization, set the bar, the ceiling height of, the recommended daily amount of what you need a day from these skyscraper workers. Now, these are hard workers. Like, we're talking like super physical manual labor workers. And that's where they're like, well, obviously they're doing pretty good. Let's set the bar. That's how much protein they're getting a day, which was like 68 grams or something, for
46 for women.
For a man.
Yeah.
We have women. I work with women that are like, they're obsessed if they don't get 125 grams a day. That's so hard on the kidneys, so hard on our body systems. We can't process that much protein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's so many things that we have to like take into account. And this is all information that we weren't taught. Like
Yeah.
we're not taught how to eat properly,
Right.
and we're taught by those big companies. But
Yeah.
we have to take a stand and start actually.
Taking our power back.
Yeah.
Taking control of our lives.
They want pictures from our wedding. We
Oh,
will
yeah.
be sharing. Trust me,
yeah.
we will be sharing. Totally from both weddings. We want to have 2 weddings.
So what do we do to kill off the overgrowth of bad bacteria now? I do not eat bad vegan food. I do consume aloe.
A good probiotic, like a soil-based bacteria, Garden of Life has a really good one.
There.
Proboulardi
Yeah.
is a good one. Even just a full spectrum acidophilus.
There we go.
Eating really high fiber
Yeah.
is really good. Prebiotics, if you can find a
Prebiotics. I was just
prebiotic
gonna say
blend,
prebiotics.
are really
And you can make
important
your
too.
own too. There's I think Paradigm has a really good one that you could make.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with just you can make your own yogurts and stuff with almond and coconut, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that's definitely one to search on.
Yeah. Raw Till 4. I'm a little on the fence with that. I think it's awesome for people who are transitioning or who
Yeah.
want to maybe stay there. It's
I
all
pump it.
yeah,
I
it's
pump
all
Raw
good.
Till
Like,
4
if-
because most of the people that I sell the salads to are
Yeah.
standard American, and you know, like they're drinking coffee, they're drinking soda, they're drinking beer, wine, they're eating everything. They're omnivorous, right? They
Yeah.
anything and everything. And so I'm like, hey, you know, if you could eat like, you know, keep it, you know, 80-20 or something, right? 80% raw fruits and vegetables throughout your day, and then you're going to have your cooked plant-based. You know,
yeah, it
get
has
all
to be plant-based.
get it plant-based,
Yeah.
but have your cooked plant-based meal at night if you have to have it.
And if you are going to have your cooked food at night, make sure that you have it with a raw salad to help with the digestion and the
Yeah.
hydration and everything
Right.
there. But I think
I
like
can't
Raw
do
Till
it.
4 isn't ideal. I think this is just my opinion for your gut bacteria, because every time you eat cooked food, your fiber thriving guys don't have food to eat,
Yes.
so they die, and like their lifespan is like 10 hours.
Yeah.
So, you know, every bacteria is going to have different lifespan, but
Right.
that's the average. So every time you eat cooked food, you're killing off your fiber
And
guys,
it's
and then
tricky
you eat
too,
fiber,
because
and
then you have
it's
people
like
who are, it's
back
really
and forth.
tricky because you're like, okay, you know, I'm doing good, you know, you did good throughout the day, but you're still like in a caloric deficit. You
Yeah.
didn't eat enough raw foods throughout the day, so dinner time comes around, Raw Till 4, and you're like, oh my god, you're killing it.
Yeah,
You know, you're just like, you're
a
having
lot.
a whole huge plate of rice, you know, and a whole package of lentils or whatever. You eat the entire thing of hummus while you're waiting for all this thing to go, you know.
Yeah.
The balance, right?
Balance is so important.
We are not carnivores, so people that say that they are doing it for health are either very confused or never vegan in their soul. Love the No Bangs girl. Nate, you make our girl happy. We love you. Hey, thanks, Terry. I love her No Bangs too. And very good point. Yeah, we are not carnivores. I totally 100% feel that, man. There was this doctor talking about how our anatomy is shaped. You know, when you look at a true carnivore, like, you know, like a dog or a cat.
Is even, yeah,
like
lion. We're not lions.
They're the way that they're positioned, their stance, you know, all of their nads are, you know, out of the you know, they're protected. All of their internal vital organs are protected. They've got these huge shoulders. They're always in a sprinting stance. They can, you know, we're not.
And you know, and interestingly enough, carnivores actually make their own vitamin C.
Exactly, they make their own
We
vitamin C.
don't. We have to get it
And
from
we are one of the
plants.
only species that can see in the red
Yes.
spectrum. We've got the thumbs.
Fruit.
So we're like, oh, look at that. We always.
Look at that gorgeous red
That's another thing
mango.
that this doctor talked about was we're always, when we're in the grocery store and picking out things, right? We want the nicest looking head of lettuce. We want the nicest tomato. And if you're looking for meat, you're always looking for the reddest meat or whatever it may be if you're looking for meat, right? So same kind of transfers over into the hunting world. We as hunters, we're looking for the best, right? We want the biggest rack. We want the biggest bear. You know, that's when
biggest fish.
now you're taking out the, you know,
yeah.
the strong, you know, gene pool of that, you know, species. Now, a carnivore, what they eat is a very, very sick animal.
Yeah, the one that doesn't run fast,
The one
that's
that's
lagging
not,
behind.
the one that's not running fast, the one that's sick. So they're basically kind of helping, you know, the species by, you know, taking out the weak.
Yeah.
Not getting the best. And we as men, we want the biggest, we want the rhino, we want, you know, like, oh my God. We're not meant to be eating meat, obviously, because we're totally jacking up the whole species seen.
I know, we are not top of the food chain,
No.
and anyone who says we're top of the food chain needs to be placed in a cage with a lion,
Right,
because
right.
they are not.
We used to do that back in the day, I heard.
Yes,
That would
I
be a
heard
pretty
that too.
interesting one. I could picture a couple people I'd like to put in.
Thoughts on soy? I eat miso, which is fermented soy. I believe soy is okay in its fermented state. There is a lot of controversy around soy. There's pros and cons on both sides. I stick to fermented in the form of miso. Aside from that, if you feel it's messing with your hormones, maybe cut it out.
Yeah. And protein is very hard on many of the organs in the whole body system. Yeah, and we're just, it's interesting because I feel like there's a balance there. And I kind of struggle with this, and I talk to Lissa about this sometimes because, say, like Native Americans or Native Inuits, like there's a balance there, and we're eating so, like, we're raw because we're addicted to different foods, but they're, if we were eating the way that it probably should be, the balance, right? Say we're eating just completely way too much, protein.
Yeah.
Our bodies can't process this kind of, and that's why we're having all these issues. That's why our nation is like one of the leading nations in, we're the sickest.
Yeah, the sickest
We're
is sad.
morbidly obese and highly malnourished, and it's so sad.
Totally. AKKK Family Love, are you fully raw? Sorry, I just joined. I'm not sure about your background. I really want to go vegan the right way. Awesome! Thank you for making a compassionate choice. That's
Yes.
beautiful. I have
Excellent
been
choice.
fully raw vegan except for cashews, maple syrup, nutritional yeast,
Coconut aminos.
coconut aminos, and a couple other things. But I don't cook any of my food, and I've been a raw vegan for 4.5 years. Nate has been almost 2.
It's been over 2.
Over 2 or 2 in March?
Oh, okay. No,
I think
2 in March. That's right. It was March.
And he bought my book, this one here.
Yeah, super good book.
He bought this book, and this is the one that he followed to go raw. And
that book is amazing, you guys. It saved my life. Honestly, it did. And I feel amazing. So I was diagnosed with hypercholesterolemia. Lamia.
At the age of 6.
Almost died from
Wow.
it 3 years ago. A cholesterol of
Whoa.
300. I had to change, and did. 295 pounds, now 220, lower cholesterol.
Wow.
Trey,
Trey, you're awesome,
you are
dude.
so amazing, man. Like, literally, bro. I'm stoked. Go check out his YouTube.
Yeah.
What
Raw Gypsy, not quite hippie.
is it the same?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Raw Gypsy, not quite hippie. He's another one of the brothers that has transitioned and woke up and has taken his life into his own hands and regained control. Not letting the food call the choice, not letting the parasites call the shots. It's so huge when we take our lives back.
Can you talk a little about grain damage? Because it's something I'm still letting go of. Please come to the south suburbs of Chicago and do a workshop retreat after you're all married.
Oh, man.
We do.
Totally.
One of our really big things that we want to do is travel around the United States and pick a bunch of cities
Yeah.
and talk to some people. Maybe
to
we can help
schools.
arrange like a workshop or
Yeah.
something. Would be something that we want to eventually do. Not sure when that's going to happen. But grain damage, I don't believe that grains are human food.
Right.
Now, the only grains that we can really eat is like quinoa and millet, which are seeds.
Yeah, seeds.
And the only rice is the wild, like the Canadian wild rice, which is actually a berry. And you can soak it,
Interesting.
and it is actually raw. I personally don't consume it, but you can
Interesting.
do that. Yeah.
I feel really, like, even in, like, if you believe in astrology and, eating for your body type and that kind of stuff, I don't know, it seemed like I heard, or I have this astrology book, and it talks about, my particular sign, how, grains and stuff are, because I'm a Taurus, Aries cusp, and those are both, I don't even remember, I can't recite what it was, but either way, it said in that book that grains aren't really the best for me, a lot of bloating, and man, I've tried grains, some grains, after even being raw. I was like, oh, okay, I'll have a little oatmeal, just whatever, try it out. You gotta test it out. And, yeah, it definitely felt like crap. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's not something that I want to have in my diet.
So yeah, I don't necessarily. It's tricky because there's lots of different beliefs and such. And like someone says here, indeed that this is pretty cool. Part of this is pretty cool. If I can get it back here, where'd it go? Dang it, did it?
Oh, it's further down.
Okay, yeah, we're not carnivores. No, not that one. So not that one.
Oh, it's further down.
Dang it, did it just like?
Yeah, it went way high.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard. Further, just a little bit more.
Okay. A heart surgeon say that only herbivores lay down arterial fat after eating animal fat. That pretty much proves that we are indeed herbivores. Our intestines are also too long to eat meat.
Yes.
Now, I definitely agree with that. I agree with part of that. I don't necessarily believe myself personally that we're herbivores. I agree with the people as well as the anatomy and physiology and the way that our salivary glands work, the way that our teeth are set up.
Yeah.
The taxonomy. That we're frugivores. Like we're really kind of designed to eat mostly fruit. Herbivores are eating lots of grasses and grains.
Yeah.
And the way that their jaw is set up to be able to really break those things down.
Stomachs.
The stomachs, they have several stomachs.
Yeah.
So
something I like to tell people is that pretend that you are put in a field, a wheat field, and there's a family of bunnies beside you, and there's an apple tree. What are you instinctually going to go and eat? You're going to take the apple. Now place a lion in place of you. The lion has no idea what an apple is. They can't even see the color or anything. Yeah. And it's in the grass. So it doesn't think that the grass is food, but it sees the bunnies, and that's its food source immediately.
Put a horse in.
Put a horse in. The horse is going to eat the grasses.
Such a great analogy. Isn't she just brilliant? Oh my god. That is. I'm going to use that. That is such an awesome
Feel
analogy.
free to. But that's interesting because instinctually, we go for the fruit. Right. We'll eat greens.
We're meant to climb.
Climb.
Yeah, we have the thumbs. We can see in that spectrum. Like it's totally God's gift, if you believe in God. Like it's God's gift.
And I believe that if you have to cook it to make it edible, it's not edible for us.
And if it's dormant and you have to, if you have to do certain things, it's a dormant food.
Aside from sprouting. But sprouting gives the bean like its full life potential.
But there's those dormant foods that literally you can't eat unless you do cook them. Those aren't those are survival foods. We call them survival foods. Now, if the poo were really to hit the fan, I'm gonna eat a potato, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I call them survival foods. Like I will eat them if there was a time of survival, but we don't live in a time of survival.
I love the concepts. I didn't live tens of thousands of years ago, but I know that we, from the history, stories and such, that we survived famine. Through eating these foods, potatoes.
Yeah, we survived.
We survived.
And the more north we went, we were basically forced to eat these foods.
So that's why we want to move to the tropics.
We want to eat our species-specific diet, which is a tropical diet.
Species-specific.
And thank you, Sherry. I love that you. Thank you for all your support. You're such a sweet fan. You always comment and message me, and I truly appreciate everybody who comments and gets my books and
me too.
Comes to these
and
watches these.
I never did the social media thing until just a couple years ago, and this is, man, I'm like, dang, what took me so long? This is so fun. So if someone went hunting and are always saying, go to Africa alone, go to
Africa alone without a rifle, without tools, without
100%.
anything. Yeah.
100%.
And what is the title of the book that Nate used to go raw? That's my book right here.
The Raw Food Romance Original, the OG, 30-day meal plan. You guys, seriously, now it's going to be cool because she's going to reformat it.
Yeah, I'm going to reformat it like my new one.
The new ones are they're a lot easier to, to just decipher what's what because of how she has the lists set up. But you guys, these are lifesaver books.
So we've got the shopping list. Right? Your fresh produce and your condiments and spices and the gadgets.
It's a no-brainer. Like in her the book that I use,
Nutrition breakdown.
It tells you exactly what you need for that particular day, the equipment that you're going to need, which sometimes it's just a blender, sometimes it's a dehydrator. All of it's laid out, like everything. It was the reason I bought it was like this is 90 recipes, 30 breakfasts, 30 lunches, 30 dinners. Not one of them's the same. Wow. And not only that, I'm a picture person.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm like, this looks so good. Like, I want to eat this. This is, It's not, you know, I've got some books where there's no pictures, it's just the recipe, and it's hard to envision what it's going to look like. A picture, you know.
And if you guys want
like
this
the
one,
pictures.
it's 35% off the print
Right
version
now.
on Amazon right now. You can go to Amazon
get it.
and get it. But if you don't, like
Yeah.
I said, for this live, we've got 20% off the ebooks,
Yeah.
which the code is LOVERAW,
Love
all
Raw.
one word, all caps.
All caps.
Payhip.com/rawfoodromance or off my website, rawfoodromance.com.
Yep.
Kids continue.
Their
We've got some
intestines
more.
are 1/3 as long as ours, so they dump the meat
Yes.
faster, and it
Doesn't have
doesn't
a
rot in
chance to
them.
rot.
Say colon. Exactly. Meat, they say, takes 72 hours to leave our system. 72 hours, you guys. That's 3 days. So if you're eating 3 meals with meat in every single meal, no wonder, like, they heard, you know, you've got, I don't know if you guys have heard John Wayne or Elvis, you know, fecal matter that they removed from those guys. Like, I think John Wayne was like 40 pounds. 40 pounds of,
Oof.
you know, fecal matter.
Yeah, Elvis too had a lot.
So, yeah. it
So
doesn't
I
leave
don't
our
know what
systems.
everyone's saying about the star sign or the
Oh, yeah.
zodiac
Oh,
signs.
because
but,
I was saying, like,
Oh.
you know, I'm Taurus, Aries.
Oh, okay, and I'm Sag.
Yep.
Just if you guys were wondering, I,
I
didn't
love
know
it.
what that
I mean,
was.
it's fun, right? You know, it's fun.
Marissa, my love. Mwah. I
Aw.
love you, Marissa, so much. She is a hardcore activist. Awesome.
Oh, I love it.
You guys are the most balanced raw food eaters
Wait,
out
now,
there.
was Marissa up here?
No, she's the one from Colorado.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, good on you for doing your work
Mm-hmm.
too down there. I mean, really, we all have our parts we're playing, and you know, both Lissa and I, like, we kind of like, oh, it'd be cool if we were more activist, you know, like, but I don't know, like, we get so emotional, and it's hard to.
It's hard.
The Socratic method, I love that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to have a conversation, I struggle. Like, that's something I would like to be able to, you know, evolve into, be able to have a better conversation. Because I want to be able to be like, hey, check out my glasses. Why don't you put those on for a second? You
Yeah,
know?
I know,
And
it's
how do you
hard.
do that in like 10 minutes? You know,
Yeah.
or a half an hour. Maybe it is a half an hour conversation, but how can you get someone to look through a different pair of lenses? And
Yeah.
you guys who are activists, man, that's the
You guys are
it's the
doing
hero's
such
journey.
a good job.
So good.
Stephanie wants to go vegan, plant-based. Would you suggest slow transition or cold turkey? No pun intended.
I would suggest just straight up
Yeah,
like, do
I
it.
did cold turkey,
Yeah.
but there are some people who can't
There's
do
all
it.
the transitional foods there.
Yeah.
Like, so if you are eating just your standard stuff, they've got those Beyond Meat burger patties, which are ridiculously so real.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I was doing something wrong when I was eating the bite, because I cooked my son some, and I'm like, give me a bite of this thing, you know? So there's the cheeses, there's an almond cheese that grades, like, I make my boys like lasagna and enchiladas and stuff, and it melts just like real cheese. They have so many transitional foods, crumbles, you know, fish sticks, chicken, you know, all kinds of transitional foods. So you can go plant-based overnight. It's all plant-based, but it's heavy in soy, heavy in wheat, you know, lots of gluten. So as much raw foods as you can get into your system, you're going to feel better for sure. But I would just go overnight. And if you need some help to go overnight, watch Dominion.
Ooh.
Watch Dominion.
Yeah, Dominion.
It's so crazy. Or Earthlings, when you see like, oh my gosh, this is literally where that packaged meat is coming from. This is what it went through. And then you're eating that. And if everything is energy, if you believe in that concept that everything is energy, which how can you not believe that?
Mm-hmm.
Then that karmic load, right? You're putting that energy into yourself. That's just no wonder we're having so many issues.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Eveline, you are in the Netherlands. We are going to the Netherlands,
Cannot
to the
wait.
Netherlands Fruit Festival. If you can go look for that.
Yeah.
I don't have any links right now, but stay tuned on my Instagram and my stories and stuff, because I'll be sharing information on that. But it's going to be right before the UK
Yeah.
Fruit Festival in the middle of July, middle to end of like the third week, I would say, of July.
Yeah.
But we will be in the Netherlands, so if you want to come to that festival, I'd highly recommend you do. But yeah, stay tuned for that. We work so hard on our books. I work so hard.
She works so hard. Like,
Oh, these are my babies.
Yeah,
they
they
are.
are.
Yeah, and I know the original book is very hard to read. It was the first one that I did. I was like
Yeah.
trying really
She's
hard
gonna
to make
reformat it.
I'm gonna reformat it so it's the
it's
same
still
as this
really
one.
easy to read though.
Yeah.
It's not bad. You guys, it's It's just this is just gonna be such a fun ride together. I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked to
It's
have.
so fun how you both have fun answer our questions.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This is our passion, our mission,
Yeah.
and we could just sit here all day with you guys and just
Yeah.
talk. That's
Yeah,
what
just,
we
you know,
love.
and everybody gets into it in a different way. Like, some get into it because they want to save the animals, you know, and both Liz and I, a lot of people, like, you get into it for health reasons. Mine was, I just don't want to, like, I don't want to end up like the, you know, 6 to 8 different family members that I watched die, you know, from different kinds of health issues. So mine was health issues.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, I'm living, you know, I'm going down the road that everybody else was going down.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it became, you know, like, you could start to understand
Very
the more
back.
ethical side of things. You're like, okay, you know, is this what I'm going to vote for? I'm going to vote for this? No, can't do it. So, you guys, we're not going to, let's see here, Gone with the Kale. Wait till you're over 50, Nate. Oh. Read the book Dominion. Okay. So, anyways, going raw tomorrow, she says. Candy Locks, I love it.
Awesome.
We met because I bought her book. I didn't know who she didn't know who I was. I knew who she was. I bought her book. I followed along. I would comment on her Instagram. Like, she's awesome. Like, she's so fine. She changed her life. Like, I mean, who would not, like, be so inspired by this chick, right? And so, then I went to the Woodstock Fruit Festival with my mom, and Jack Albright was there from Raw Tropical Living.
That's another one, Raw
Another
Tropical
awesome
Living.
guy. I really liked his stuff because it was just simple. You know, he's just a good old boy from, you know, southern states, you know, and I met him, showed him my before and after pictures, and told him my story, and he's like, dude, Lissa needs to interview you for her YouTube. This is a great testimonial for her book. And that's how we met.
Yeah.
So she did an interview with
And
me.
you can find that on my YouTube.
I think it's a Vlogmas.
Yes, from last year.
Last year Vlogmas.
December, I think I posted it December 4th.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yep, so that was the interview. And then
That's our
after the
interview.
interview, we talked until like 3 in the morning. We're like, oh my gosh. So, you know, we just, you know, look at us. Like, we talk all night long.
Oh, so lucky.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
somebody asked what were the best vegan books, and that's why I went
Oh,
to
okay.
grab some stuff. I grabbed the Proteinaholic. Please.
Okay, it's a great one.
Yes, Proteinaholic by Dr. Garth Davis. This is epic. He is also pro-fruitarian,
Yes.
pro-raw. He did the blood tests for Fully Raw Christina, and he's a good friend of hers. So yeah, he promotes.
I know,
Yeah,
anytime,
low protein.
anytime you can get labs done,
Yeah, labs are so important.
I think labs are great.
I haven't
because,
had mine done, but I need to.
Yeah,
eventually.
you know, because you can
Yeah.
really kind of, I mean, if this is a machine, we need to get, you know, the diagnostic check, so to speak. Like, what are we lacking in? What are we too high in? Like, I mean, it would be pretty cool. Hopefully, maybe in the future, our toilets will talk to us and be like, your sodium is a little too high today. You
Right?
know?
Yeah. Or like, there's way too much sugar.
Yep. Or you need more iron, or whatever it might
Yeah.
be. Like, who knows? Because we can
Totally.
tell everything through our, our waste.
This one, How Not to Die by Dr. Michael Greger. He's not raw, but there's tons of information in
Yeah.
here. This book is gold. He promotes raw sprouts like lentils, broccoli, and
Sprouts
stuff.
are
The sprouts,
such
the
powerful
nutrition
food.
goes up, and
Sprouts
I
are
believe
king.
sprouts are so important.
Sprouts are king. Like, if you look at the stats that sprouts have, it is unbelievable. And that
Yeah.
is like the true living food. It's alive. Like, you
Yeah.
know, and you're eating that energy like it's living energy.
Yeah, and if you think of a bean, like, you know, when we cook the beans, you're not getting, like, it's still a dormant food. Even if you cook it, you make the fiber, like, digestible somewhat,
yeah.
right? But when you, like, the whole bean's life or seed or whatever is to eventually become a plant. That's
Yeah.
its whole goal in
Yep,
life.
right.
So it will stay dormant until all of the necessary things are in place, like water, sunshine,
Yeah.
soil, nutrients, and everything are in place for it to grow into a plant. So it's got a protective shield around it, and even if you cook it, that shield is still kind of there and
Yeah.
it causes digestive upset and everything.
Yeah.
But once you sprout a bean or
It's
a seed,
alive.
it's reached its life goal. That's it's like, I am alive now, and
Yeah.
this is all I need. So it releases that. The B vitamins go up, the vitamin C goes up through the roof when you sprout broccoli sprouts. The
Yeah.
sulforaphane goes
Sprouts
up
are
4
amazing.
times more than a cup of, like, the florets.
Should be eating a handful of sprouts every day.
Sprouts,
Any kind
very
of sprouts.
important.
Clover sprouts, pea sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, mung bean sprouts. Sprouts are so powerful.
The cheese trap, yes. There's also another one called Never binge again. That's
Never binge again.
Never binge again.
That's what was his name? It was Glenn.
Glenn, yes.
Yeah.
Neverbingeagain.com.
Ah,
that's
a
good too
good one.
for people who have food addiction issues.
Yeah.
He's raw or mostly raw.
My personal favorite, and what really helped me right after I met John, the 86-year-old skier that was a raw vegan for 42 years, reversed his colorectal cancer at 44. Mucusless Diet System by Arnold Ehret.
Arnold Ehret.
That's a great one too. You know, and that's from like the 1800s. That's a really good one. Brian Thorson, she's gorgeous, Nada, lucky man. Yes, I know, man. I'm so lucky, man. She's like, that's why I had to get her. I was like, I'm grabbing this one. This is a keeper for sure. Holy cow.
So you guys are just so awesome.
Love sprouting
Thank you so much for
sunflowers.
joining.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Superfoods like spirulina. I take a E3 Live, which is blue-green algae. I don't take it every day. I take it once in a while here and there for the DHA.
You know, there's a really good one too that's pumped chlorella, but also that Daily Green Boost.
Daily Greens
We don't
Boost,
have
yeah.
any, but it's like so good. You can just literally dip your finger
You
and
can
just
sprinkle
eat
it on your salads too.
Like
yeah.
that has
Get
all
that extra minerals.
And that was basically formulated by like a fruitarian or a natural hygiene.
Yeah, just to get those extra greens because as full fruitarian, you're not getting the full spectrum. We need the minerals from the greens.
So there is kind of like a little, you know, twist to things. Like we've really become, you know, in this industrial age, highly, you know, sophisticated in being able to process foods. You know, there's certain positives to it. So we can get, you know, like these spirulina tabs and stuff. Like, sure, that's not in its natural state, but you know, it's a good way to get, you know, what you need in a powder or pill form.
Yeah. So yeah, we're both gorgeous. Thank you. Yes,
yeah.
I think
Glenn Livingston.
Glenn Livingston.
That's who he was. We met him down in Portland. Super
super
cool guy.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys, I think we're gonna call it.
Yep.
It's been 2.5 hours
you guys,
of
that was
awesome
so much
conversation.
Fun. Definitely.
Yeah, totally love
so
this.
So fun. Thanks for engaging with us, and you know, we had a great time. Hope you guys pulled something from it. And yeah. And
we love doing these things. Love seeing you guys on our Instagram. Follow Nate if you don't already at RawNattyNate with N8.
That's right, N number 8. So when you sound it out, it's Nate.
So cute. And then I'm obviously Raw Food Romance on Instagram and Lissa's Raw Food Romance on Facebook. But again, I just wanted to let you guys know that still Amazon has a sale on my 30-day meal plan part 2, and you can still get my Dips and Dressings book. This is like my favorite one.
That's my favorite book.
Yeah, it's all dips and dressings.
I use this book, you guys, every single day because I, you know, make salads for people, and I'm always tapping into that book.
And then I have a winter raw food romance that I put out maybe 2 years ago.
That's got some really good treats.
Yeah.
Oh, you just passed that. Like, look at this. I mean, who doesn't want that?
I know.
I want that right now.
Oh
my god.
Oh.
So I know you guys were talking all this stuff, but we're gonna be bad. We bought this like piece of raw. It's got coconut whipped cream.
Yeah, and
this is
raw.
So not to rub it in your guys' faces, but oh my god, look at that. So I mean, raw can be fun. You can definitely gain weight. You can be unhealthy in any way you eat. Just try to keep as much of that raw, fresh fruits and vegetables in your world, and stay away from the highly processed foods like this. There's a lot of cashews in this. You know, this is definitely a treat.
Aw, hope you guys do this more often. This was fun.
We had so much fun.
I really like doing these. It's just finding the time.
Yeah.
And since he's here in Canada, I was like, hey, you want to do an YouTube live?
And the medical medium books. I would love to get. I know your mom's moving to Ashland, and she's got a lot of the books, so I'm excited to be able to borrow some of her books because I do want to.
You can follow my mom, the Gentle Homeopath, on Instagram. But yeah, you know what? Read them. Yeah. I've heard lots of good things.
I wish that we could all be in a room together too.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully one day, we're definitely going to do some retreats.
Yeah, we're going to do retreats.
Man, we geek out on this.
Raw with Lissa and Nate.
Yeah, we just have so much fun, and like we definitely want to do demos. You know, like hands-on demos. Like, want to teach you guys how to prepare certain things, show how it's done in real time. So this is going to be a really fun year for sure.
Oh, totally. Well, thanks for being on my YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh, thank you
Vin.
for having me with you. This is so much fun for sure.
Totally, yeah.
Love
and
all you
thank
guys.
you guys so much
Yeah.
for everything.
Until
so
next time.
we're gonna sign off, and like I'm gonna post this on YouTube. So if you guys haven't seen any pieces of it, go
Yeah.
and watch that. But yeah,
You got a couple hours.
right? Or just put it on play and listen to it
Totally.
while you're walking.
Podcast style.
Podcast style.
Exactly.
Totally. That's awesome.
Love
So,
you guys. Bye.
Love you guys.
Sleep good.
See you. Sleep good.
Or have a
sleep
great day.
good.
Whatever it is.
Fruit on.